Sheikh Mohammed.
You are genius. You got 17,000 people doing marketing material for you.
Dubai, currently it is like the most popular place in the world. You did 5 years without making money.
Yes, we believe so much in what we are doing.
You have videos that a good percentage of humanity has seen.
Just under about 600 million views.
You no longer have 3 seconds, my friend. ChatGPT this, ChatGPT that. Halas.
This episode has more information than a marketing degree.
I love this.
We would have to sit here for about 2 weeks for me to give you everything.
This is unreal, man.
You don't have to learn it yourself.
I'm shortcutting 13 years just by watching this course.
I'm a dinosaur in the social media world. We can give you that knowledge and help you.
I think it's going to change people's lives. And Mr. Woody, the first English episode in the first content creation podcast in the Arab world.
Quite an honor for me.
Mr. Woody.
Yes.
Nice to finally meet you in real life.
Likewise.
We met in the 1 Billion Summit briefly.
Yes, very briefly.
This is very exciting. The first English episode in the first content creation podcast in the Arab world.
Well, I'll tell you what, I feel like it's quite an honor for me.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We're honored. It's my honor. Very glad to have you here.
Yep.
Would have loved to have Kleiny with us.
Yeah, unfortunately he's having to deal with some personal things back home.
Yeah, God bless him.
But he's gutted not to be here. And hopefully next time, when you do the second English-speaking podcast, he'll be there for that one.
Very excited for this episode. Inshallah, it's going to be very fruitful. What's the highest viewed video that you have?
Just under about 600 million views. Yeah.
In short form.
Yeah, so it's over 500 million, yeah.
Over 500 million. So that's like, you have videos that a good percentage of humanity has seen.
Yeah. Good point. Our run rate, so we kind of like a yearly run rate for us is about 10 billion views a year. And that's dependent on the type of content what we're doing, what we're bringing to obviously social media. So like sometimes if we change our direction in terms of the different sort of ideas and what direction we want to go, then that can fluctuate. It can go higher, it can go lower. You know, it just depends on what you're actually creating, right?
That's a big number.
Yeah.
And you guys have been in this like content thing for how long?
13 years. Yeah.
13 years.
Yeah, 13 years. It took us 5 years before we even made a penny. And then from that point, it kind of started taking off. But we was kind of under we had the mindset really, our team. It started off as a small team, you know, it was myself, Kleiny, and Daryl, who's our creative director. So like Daryl's in the studio over here as well. He managed to travel with me. But we called him the And in Woody and Kleiny. So it's like Woody, Daryl, Kleiny, but it's Woody, and he's
just like the music bands that have like a secret member.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so he owns a part of everything that we do, and if it wasn't for him as well being a part of it, it would have been very hard for us to actually grow to where we did, because we need both of us to be in front of camera. We wanted to be this double act, this entertainment duo, and in order to do that, you need someone obviously to help you film the content. You know, and like when we was filming in the pouring rain in London for 100 views, that's the guy who's standing there normally with a camera facing in the wrong direction and out of focus, but 60% of the time we got some content. So yeah.
60% is a good percentage, but
not bad for someone who's not a cameraman.
You did 5 years without making money.
Yes, yeah.
Why did you do it? I mean, why did you keep doing it?
Okay, so we had a big passion to kind of obviously do something in this space, and we believed there was a gap in the market. We believed in the product in terms of what we are, what we represent. And it was going to take a bit of time, you know, like especially when we started back then, the content creation world was very much like, so if you're a YouTuber and you had a YouTube channel, it was very much like, right, you're either like a football skills channel or you're a magic channel or you're whatever channel, you know, but basically you're in a area, in a genre, and it's very clear. So whatever you're offering, whatever you're doing, whatever you're delivering, what your videos are about, it's very obvious what you represent. So when people come to watch you, it's an easy ask. So if someone's coming to watch you and you're a football skills channel, they're obviously into football. They obviously watch it a lot. They enjoy that side of things. So for them, it's a clear, easy one to go, oh, I like this. I'll subscribe because I get what it is.
Exactly.
With us, it was harder because what we wanted to do is we wanted to basically break through in a different way. We wanted people to come to us for good quality, entertaining content, period, regardless of what it was. So it wasn't just one genre. You know, we did skits, we did sketches, we did vlogs, we did challenges, we did pranks, we did touched on little magic, visual effects. So we kind of did everything. So when you come to us, you're kind of watching it being like, but why am I coming here? So, and after obviously it does take time to grow. in that way, because obviously your message is slightly harder.
It's broader.
It is very much so. But we also had the forward thinking of if we crack this, when we crack this, in fact, not if, because we believed it always would, because we knew that the quality would be good, it would be there, we're entertaining people anyway.
You knew you were going to be successful before
Yeah.
you succeeded.
Oh, 100%.
How?
Pure belief in what we do and knowing that the direction we're going to go, we're going to make it happen. Like, unless you're someone who's completely deluded, right? And don't get me wrong, there are things out there what people may be doing, and you may not get there and what have you, depending on what it is, but we're not deluded people. We know good from bad. We know if something's crap and it stinks, then to kind of move on, we are those people. We get that. But we believed in the product. We knew the product was good. We knew what we were doing was good. It just it was just a case of getting out there to the masses and to win that audience over, to understand you're coming to us here for good quality, entertaining content, and after 5 years it started taking off, and we haven't looked back, but we believed in it, and now it puts us in a position where no matter what we create as a content, like, so if you're a niche area and you're just in this space, great, because there's so much you can do in your space, of course there is, but now we're so open to anything. So people expect absolutely anything from us. So when we're creating content or you want to do a collab with someone, we got the world. So it's an amazing space to be in, and it was a longer journey, but we're very thankful we went that direction, because not a lot of people do it in that way as well. So in that way, that is our niche, right?
It's interesting. But back in that time, were there a lot of creators that had this broad of an audience?
Probably not, actually. So
you believed in yourself.
Yeah, I don't think there was there? Like, if on YouTube, all the research we did went against doing that. The research, like what we did at that time, would have been like, stick to something like an area, a space. You'd say that was right, Daz? Sorry, I'm referring to someone off camera, but I want to obviously bounce off him.
Totally fine.
He was in and around it the whole time, and I'd say that more often than not, I can't remember anyone who was kind of doing what we were doing in the way we were doing it. It was very different, but that was what's great about it, right? Because why be the same as anyone else? Why not be different and then kind of try and kind of break through in your own way and do it in your way, And we're so thankful we did.
You guys took the hard path.
Yeah.
You guys took the hard path. Speaking of beginnings, we pulled up the oldest content we could find.
Yes.
And I want to talk to you about it. I want your emotions. So let's talk about one of the first uploads here. So we have two pieces of content. We have the first content that we could find, and we have Britain's Got Talent.
I was in our first piece of content. I bet you that isn't our first piece of content.
Yeah, because you said...
I can tell you what our first piece of content, because it was an absolute heap of shit.
Really?
Yeah, it was really bad. yeah, it was really bad.
But it was that bad, so you...
No, it was great.
Why'd you remove it, though?
To be honest with you, it's not on the channel, is it? Like, it's definitely not on the channel. It's why did we remove it? I think we just cleared the page. It weren't because we cared that it was was not embarrassed about it, to be honest with you. It was crap, but part of me is a bit gutted it's not on there, because it's kind of nice to look back on and for people to see where it all started, right? It's that's the beautiful thing about YouTube. And I know, like, someone like when you talk about Mr. Beast, there's content still on his page. If you go back, absolutely yonks. It's like, it'll take you back to a time where he first started, and it's amazing seeing that growth, and that development and that journey, right? And he's taken like his viewers on this adventure. And this is the thing, is like, I think that's probably the most amazing thing that he's done on his journey, is he's taken these people with him on this adventure. And if you was with this guy from when he was first starting, imagine being one of those first subscribers. Like, you're in the first 100 or 1,000 subscribers of him.
They had no idea who he's going to be.
But I bet you would have loved to screenshot it just to have proof that you was one of them guys, you know what I mean? But if you're one of those, like, you're attached to him in another way. So, like the connection you have with that man.
You know, the real Jimmy.
I never refer to him as Jimmy because I don't know him. Do you know him?
No, I wish.
Do me a favor, just don't call him Jimmy on this podcast in front of me. I can't.
Really?
I can't handle it. if you're his pal, then call him Jimmy. But if you're not, call him Mr. Beast, innit?
Really?
Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Why?
Because that's what he is, man. He's Mr. Beast. Like, people start using the Jimmy one like they're his pal, and and it brings like a connection that people haven't got with him. And I'm like, no, respect the man. He's Mr. Beast, man. And if you get to know him, call him Jimmy, man.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That's a very interesting take.
I never call him it. I never call him that.
Exactly. I mean, I'm gonna stop calling him Jimmy.
One day, maybe.
I hope
Nice
so.
one.
I mean,
Hey, I'll give you a high five moment for that.
one day.
I mean no disrespect, by the way, and that's just my take on it. So call him Jimmy if you want to call him Jimmy. It's
no,
what you want to do.
I'm gonna stop.
Yeah,
For me, it's خلاص Mr. Beast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, man.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, but one day we could become like good friends with him.
Why not?
We call him Jimmy.
Why not? Why not? I mean, the
Yeah.
guy revolutionized content creation. And everyone now is taking inspiration from him.
Yeah.
Like,
By the
everyone.
way, I mean not to offend anyone who's actually watching this. By the way, if you call him Jimmy,
That's it's a very interesting take. Respect
it's
the
just
brand.
Yeah, I just kind of feel that way about it. but
Interesting. I like that one.
Yeah,
It's a very interesting take.
Yeah.
So we refer to you guys as Woody and Klein as well.
it's like someone calling me Paul.
Who's
Like-
Paul?
Exactly. It's my government name, man. Don't call me Paul. You don't know me as Paul. You call me Woody from Woody and Kleiny because that's what you know me as, right?
Let's talk about this. I mean, it's the oldest content we could find.
Go on.
13 videos that will blow your mind. This is 2 minutes and a half.
Okay, I hope like this is like the best 2 minutes and a half of everyone who's watching's live because I don't want to waste anyone's time here.
Because the title is very promising. You said
Yeah,
13 videos that will blow your mind.
You know what's also very promising? The amount of views it got, my friend.
Oh, yeah. They got 14 million.
There you go. It can't be that bad.
Back
Otherwise,
then, you're talking... Was it harder back then to get views than now?
not necessarily. It depends. I mean, when was it uploaded?
7 years ago.
Oh,
Maybe this is a re-upload.
probably not.
Because the aspect ratio, you're talking about a 4:3 video on YouTube. It's not even horizontal. And this was before shorts.
Yeah.
You guys did the impossible. Let's
Okay.
take a look at this video. Bismillah. The red circle.
Yes. Oh, yeah. When did that come? When did it kick in? Because we
Starts off with the red circle in it.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? Because this podcast is about people understand about content creation while we do things, and like we're just literally finishing our online course. It's taken like 2 years to write, and like in terms of building a framework, well, we had like you got to think we've been doing it for 13 years, right? And as you're doing this, like we always knew that it was a good idea to kind of jot things down. So we had like a shared folder, like me, Kleiny, and Daryl. So we'd had a shared folder, and if there was anything that came to our head that we used in a social media piece of content which worked really well and stuff like that, we'd always write it down. It could be like a word, it could be a sentence, it could be a paragraph, it could be a whole page, it could be a few pages, right? So what you'd do, you'd always like jot it down because you didn't want to forget that stuff, and it's good to refer back to. So we would dump all this stuff into and make sure it was tagged up well enough so we could find stuff. So we'd do different keywords, obviously, on the title of whatever that document was, sort of thing, within the folder. And it would always give us something to go and refer back to and find. Now, you imagine 13 years of dumping stuff. We've got a lot of knowledge and information in there, right? So fast forward to like best part of 2 years ago, we was like, guys, we need to start taking something like off of social media in a way where we can monetize it, because, and this comes down to another conversation about how volatile the platforms were, which are. So you're reliant on an algorithm. You're reliant on this platform giving me reach in order to monetize. That is a very extremely vulnerable position to be in. So it's so important as a creator to stack your revenue streams. You know, you need to be thinking about making revenue from your platforms, of course, but how do I make revenue elsewhere? Am I getting enough brand deals in? Am I getting not just brand deals because they're good to tick over, brand partnerships, adding value over a period of time, giving yourself stability, okay? Because if an algorithm changes, a product changes on a platform, as that takes its dip, what is now bringing me through and protecting my business? Like, because we're creating businesses where we have people working for us who rely on their wage to come in and put a roof over their head. That comes with a responsibility, right? So anyway, fast forward to today, we're now thinking, right, we want to take something, more things as much as we can off of social media that we can support it with our social media, right? So if you're not making the funds that you need to, you want to be making, that you're still able to support this over here because we're still getting big views, say like YouTube Shorts has been notoriously great for getting unbelievable views, unbelievable reach, but the money's crap. No matter where you go. Doesn't matter where you go.
Because the watch time is really short.
Watch time's short, and obviously advertisers still like not knowing where to place their money, why they should do it, where, what platforms. Instagram's still so massively trusted and what have you, which is great because although it was our biggest platform, it's now our smallest platform.
Instagram.
Instagram, yeah. It was our biggest at first. And it was the first platform we hit 1 million on, but we can come back to that sort of stuff.
Interesting.
Now it's our smallest, right? But basically, if you're gaining reach and you're still getting views, like you imagine if I want to promote our online course and us guys are trying to do a really good promotional piece of content, we put it on shorts and it blows up. Okay, fine, we're not monetizing, but we are monetizing. It's something which can give a lot of value to people. And that's why we've built this off there. So going back to our online course, 13 years of dump notes, we now start getting a framework together. So we sit together around a table, like when we strategize and we're coming up with creative concepts and ideas, what we want to shoot and so on. And we're sitting there, we're like, right, what do we want this course to represent? What do we want it to be? And it's like, I tell you what, and what we kind of landed on is we want it to be a course that someone, no matter what you are, what level you are in social media, that you can pick this course up. Or if you're starting out, it doesn't matter what your industry is, what your business is, you can pick this course up, you can drop it in, and it will give you everything you need, all the tools and the knowledge that you need to be successful on social media, period. The only thing it won't give you is the things that come from within, okay? Those professional skills of hard work, dedication, focus, turning up, sacrifice. That's what really gets you there. 5 years of working like we did for not a penny. Running a job like we did, like waking up at 7 a.m, getting my son to school, getting into work at 9 o'clock, working a full day at my sports business, and that's what the boys were doing as well, finishing at 5:30, getting home, squeezing in some food until 6 o'clock, 6:30, meeting up and filming until 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning, and then getting up and going again 7 days a week. And after you've done it for 7 days a week, you go again, and it's relentless because you know where you want to go, and you do it for 5 years for not even a penny because you believe in what you're going to do. That's the real price that you pay, is time. And when you do that, you learn so much. You acquire it so much because you live, you breathe it. There's not a platform that knows content creation like we do as creators, as in us, Woody and Kleiny, or the next creator who goes through that grind, Mr. Beast. Lived experience. And I've probably gone off on a tangent. I don't know where I was going.
This is amazing. It's
yeah,
a
but
great point.
Yeah. You learn so much, right? So you imagine that knowledge now. We've now dumped that in, and we've started building the framework. So we're around the table, and we're like, right, what is going to make this the most successful? What do we want to get out of this? What do we want to do with this? And this isn't about just making money, because let's face it, yes, we have a business to run. Yes, we need to make money because that's what makes us stay around. That's what makes it sustainable. But we want to be the most unbelievable value for the best price. So someone feels that they're making a payment when they buy this course, because people should, because it deserves it, because of the time, energy, blood, sweat, tears, and knowledge that's gone into it over the 13 years, right? But we want them to get it and then go, I can't believe how cheap I just got this. This is unbelievable.
Underpriced.
Yeah.
Very underpriced.
But feel they're making that payment, you know? I think that's really, really important. And ultimately, like, once we get to that place, and obviously it's out there, it's going to, I believe it's going to change. It's going to do so much for so many people. And I think that there's so much good in it, and it's going to spread so much knowledge. So we now get that framework together. And once we've got that, we're now going to the writing stage. And at that point, that's when it goes really deep. So we're talking about, like, the why, like the how, the why, and the what. You know, the what, how, why, whatever order you want to do it. So the reasons you do this. What is this lesson? What does this lesson represent? What is the person getting out of it? But you're not just telling them how to do it. You're not telling them what they got to do. You're telling them why you do it. It's drilling down on the psychology side of it, the human connection, the understanding of the science behind it. And we're really passionate about giving back. And we come from a teaching background, because our business is what we had before this. It was teaching kids how to play football, sport in schools. So we understand how to do that, right? And we value it and we love it because of what it gives back to us. So we put that into a framework now, and we've literally, we've got 14 modules. Okay, on average, about 10 lessons per module, some more, some less. And I would say we've got the best part of a month and a half left before it's finished being writ. Then it goes into the production stage of, because we're filming it all to camera and so on. Once it's ready, hopefully by the end of March, we're going to throw it out to the world and let the world know that the USP is this has been developed by actual content creators with lived experience. Because there's a lot of people, some boffin who's sitting there behind a computer like this, tapping away, Googling what he wants, chat GPT this, chat GPT that. Yeah, that's all good. But you getting the units that are lived? No, you're not. And then what do? They'll grab a content creator and go, you can be the face of this, and you can tell everyone you wrote it. Not here, my friend. Not here. We wrote every word of it.
Interesting. There's a lot of courses online that teach content creation.
Yeah.
But for you guys, you're selling your own experiences. Wait, so if I buy this, I'm buying in 12 years? 13. I'm buying 13 years of experience with the money that I'm paying.
Yes.
And I'm going to learn it in a week.
Ooh, if you're intense, I mean, it could be longer, because we're talking like some of these lessons. There's 14 modules, approximately 10 lessons per module. And I would say that some of these lessons are going to be, I mean, once we actually go into recording process, you're looking at 45 minutes to an hour on on a singular lesson.
Very dense.
Oh, 100%. But it's touching on everything you need to know in certain areas, which is really important in order for people to understand the nuts, the bolts, everything about it, and how to really connect with people, and how to go viral. Because a lot of people go viral. A lot of people talk about virality. Virality is a word that gets thrown around very willy-nilly. Okay, it's overused. It's like the word love. You throw the word love around too cheaply, you lose the value of the word love. Simple. All right. And if you chase virality doesn't come. Know how to get to that. You got to think virality is a trophy. Yeah, that's the end product. All right, that's what we want to end up getting. All right, but if that's your focus, you're doing it all wrong. You're doing it very, very wrong.
You're never gonna go viral.
It's not that you're never gonna go viral, because people can get what we call lucky, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And things happen, and like you could do some mad clip and what have you, and it just happens to click, and that's not knowing any knowledge. You just happen to stumble across it because it just happens, right? But if you understand what it takes to end up at the end of that season with a trophy, okay, and all that you've got to do, think of it like a lot of your viewers, that they watch sports, soccer or something like that, right? They like sports, okay? Let's just look at a soccer team, okay? What have a soccer team got to have in place in order to win a trophy at the end of the season? They've got to have a solid team. They've got to have good structure. They've got to have formations. When they're in their training, what are they doing? How are they doing it? Where are they going? Why are they going there? These are all the things that really matter, right? And then when they're doing that, like you look at like when when these footballers are training on a training pitch, it's like a game of chess. They're passing the ball into a space, and there's someone who should be there because they know to be there, not because the ball went there at that point, because literally the player turns into this position here, his body's facing to the left, so everyone on the whole pitch is moving in a direction. So these are the little nuts and bolts that go into the bigger picture, and then you play that game, you play this team, and that team works in a certain way, so we've got to play a certain way. So what do you do on the next game? You're playing a different team with a different strategy, a different formation. So with us, content creation, we're doing a different type of piece of content. So now we're looking at all of these different things that trigger things. What are you putting? So we go back to the content side, because I'm going off on talking about obviously
this
football,
is amazing.
because it's strategy, right? Yeah, because people understand strategy from football thing, right?
Exactly. Everyone does.
100%. Exactly.
Everyone understands football.
Any team sport, right?
Yeah.
Like, because I say football, soccer, but like, Jesus, like more strategic than that would be a game like American football.
Yeah.
Like American football is a game of chess on a football field. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And soccer's becoming that more and more. But anyway, back to like content creation. So ultimately, if you're making a piece of content, knowing what goes into it, like, so we've got frameworks called This A&E. Okay, This A&E is an acronym for basically the different elements that you can put into a piece of content, whether that's trends, okay, so topical, something which is here now and people are resonating with and need to jump off, but humor, inspiration, surprise, adventure, emotion, okay? Now, these elements is what makes people want to share content and connect with it. Every piece, like this podcast and what you're doing, you're connecting with people, and podcasts are unbelievable because you connect people on another level. Short form is even it's a lot harder, Vlogging, a lot easier.
Sorry.
Yeah, 100%. You've grown up on it, right? And you're talking about how passionate you are about YouTube. You love YouTube. That's all you watch. You ain't watching no dinosaur TV anymore, right? You never have. But it's about connection, right? So everything you do is about giving someone a feeling, making someone feel something in their heart, in their body, connecting with them. So like it might be someone might be listening to this and be like, this guy is so passionate about it. I am passionate about what I do. You know, I care.
Yeah, I can feel
care
it.
for people to understand what this is. Do you know what I mean? And what it takes. Like people think, sometimes like people get it twisted with us. They're them jokers off the internet. If you think we're just jokers off the internet, you got something really wrong. But if it comes across like that, actually, there's an art to that, which is quite beautiful.
It means you've succeeded.
Yeah, because ultimately, I suppose the art to doing what we're doing is making people feel that this has just been gone like that. And do you know what I mean? Because they just consume it naturally, not deep.
You guys make it look easy. I mean, with the experience that you have, you make it look easy. It's not easy.
No, thank you.
Yeah, but at this point that you've reached, for you, it's like muscle memory now. Khalas.
Yeah.
You know what
that's
to do.
True. That is so true.
Yeah.
And this is what this course is going to do. It's going to give people muscle memory. It's going to, give them the tools, the understanding, the knowledge to then implement this themselves, to then make it become muscle memory for themselves. And then just back to finish the point, because obviously we want to make sure we finish that for your viewers. But ultimately, with these different elements within your content, you're touching people, you're making them feel something, right? So what makes you share a piece of content, okay, is different to what makes me share a piece of content. So, okay, can I borrow your phone?
Yeah. Please.
Okay, so if we say no, I don't need it. I'm just going to use it. Like, so your phone is a piece of content. Okay, so you consume that piece of content. I consume that piece of content. Okay, exactly the same piece of content, right?
Exactly.
However, in here, what will make you press that share button? What will make you tag your friend? Why do you want to share it to Khalid? It might be because you find something funny. If something's funny and humorous, it makes you go, I've got to share that with Khalid, man.
Exactly.
Or I've got to press that and share that to my whole audience, right? However, I'm sitting on the other side, okay? We're not together, all right? I'm like, see this piece of content now, I come across it. Humor doesn't make me share content.
Value?
Because I'm not you. It might be, so this is about the elements in this A&E now, right? If there's emotion in there, oh my God, you're connecting with me now. So this same piece, humor's not making me share it. Emotion's making me share it, right? That's what connects with me. So right now, you've got one piece of content, and you've got two types of people who share a piece of content for different reasons. So our aim is to include as many pieces of this content, many elements into a piece of content as you can, but not at the detriment of the content. And if you can do that, you touch more people.
Interesting.
Which then helps virality.
It's a checkbox.
100, yeah, but you understand what it takes to go. The viral is down here. You understand that now I need to build it. I need to build this framework. I need to have these things in it in order to help it. This is just a small level of it. I mean, the other point to it is on a scale of 1 to 100, each element has a power. So a cheap laugh, so something funny was like, that was funny. Or, oh my God, that was so hilarious. That's like splitting my sides. 90%. So we're talking about intensity now, yeah? So 10, 20% is low level, right?
I'm not going to share it.
You're
not going to share it.
You may do, you may not, and what have you, but chances are, yeah, you're right. But when you get into the areas of like 80, 90% intensity of humor, then all of a sudden you're clicking it more, you know? And more people are going to resonate. More people are going to connect with it. So that means it's going to spiral out of control. So you can have all 6 of these elements in there, but that doesn't mean that's the way to go.
You can't engineer it.
You can.
You can.
So you're saying you can't, did you just say?
You can't engineer it.
No, you can. And that's the whole point. You can engineer it, but you need to be mindful of how you're doing that, right? So you need to think about what's going in it, why it's going in it, and if it adds any benefit. If it's adding value, then it does. If it doesn't, it could be taken away from the content. So don't force something in there. Because I'll give you an example, right? And I know you spoke to us about the mattress before we come on. So we had a recent video, okay, which blew up, which I can take no credit for because that idiot who's my double act partner just cut holes in my mattress, and I come home and it
was your real mattress.
Yeah, on my bed, bro.
I thought it was for the video.
Yeah, and I don't know who to blame more, him or my wife for letting him in my house whilst I'm not there to do it to me. But in truth, I let myself in for this world, right? So I can't complain.
You signed up for this.
I signed up for this, right? So I've got to go. And to be fair, 100 million views in like 2 days is worth it, right?
It's worth anything.
You can smash up my house at that point. Anyway, but my point being is like if you look at these like different elements what are in there, if we include, so in that video, there was like 2 really strong, powerful elements. And it probably touches on a third there as well. But my point being is that there's no point forcing in other elements in there, because now we could be taken away from the quality of the content and what the content represents, what it needs to be. Yeah. What you do is you focus in on them, make them the best and the most powerful they can be. And that means that could thrive even more than something over here. Now, you could have 5 elements in a piece of content at 20%, right? Or you could have 2 elements in a piece of content at 90%. This one is going to outblow this one 9 times out of 10. However, if naturally, because of the piece of content, what it represents, ends up with 4, 5, and even 6 of those elements at 90%, you're going super viral, my friend. And because the 2 elements go super viral at time, right? So if we end up with 5, come on, man, look what what Mr. Beast is doing and stuff like that. Although he is a different beast. So I don't actually like using him as an example with a lot of this stuff as well.
You can't.
Yeah, because he is such a different beast. Like, forgive the pun, you know. Yeah. But he really is. Because you don't... You just stare at a screen, he's got his face on it. No, it doesn't matter what the thumbnail is. If it's a new upload, it's got his face on it. People are clicking.
I'm clicking.
It doesn't matter. Yeah,
because I know what I'm signing up for by clicking the video. I know what I'm going to watch.
100%.
There's too far gone. That's the brand. I mean, you know what you're going to watch. But these are some great points you're mentioning. I can't wait to buy this course. Wallah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Do you know what? And like, it's going to be, we believe it's going to do a lot of good. But that's what it does. And all of these things. And by the way, I've told you one framework, what goes into it. We haven't spoke about 0.1 seconds, which we're going to come on to because we started talking about this purely because you asked me about that red circle. So we're going to come back to that, okay? Because you've got so many things. We talk about hooks, and everyone's like, oh, yeah, you need a hook. Yeah, well done. You've Googled that you need a hook, or you found this out from someone. And we all talk about hooks, but do you know the science behind a hook? Do you know how often you should be doing them? Do you know where they should be placed?
How they should be done.
Exactly. Like, there's more to it. Like, yeah, everyone thinks they're knowledgeable because they start going, yeah, you need a hook here. You need
Sounds
a hook
cool.
There.
Everyone wants to sound like they're knowledgeable in content creation. Everyone's throwing around these words like hook and retention.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't understand what goes on behind it.
Start breaking it down. Give some substance behind the knowledge.
Ask them to break it down. Most people cannot break down what a hook is.
Well, yeah.
Most people cannot. They say, oh, it's attention grabbing. What does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So then you end up in a place where it's ultimately, if you're including a lot of these things into a piece of content, like we've got like a framework called, sorry, I said this only, called the Disney effect. Now, I'm not going to... No, this is
something for another time.
Yeah, it really is. And I can't go in too deep on this sort of stuff because your podcast is going to end up about 8 hours long, right?
9 hours.
And we want people to get as much as they can without me maybe giving too much of something that they're going to be able to get
The viewers for this podcast are very passionate about content creation.
Are they really? Yeah, that's amazing.
No one's going to watch this if they're like just an average watcher.
Yeah.
It's not for everyone. This is for people that want to learn.
And these things I'm telling you now, I have scratched the surface.
Literally scratched the surface. You know what's interesting is you did not read about these things. You didn't hear these things in a TikTok. You learned these things the hard way. You were doing hooks at the time when most people didn't even know what a hook was.
Correct.
This is 7 years ago, 13 years ago. Correct. Nobody knew what a visual hook is.
Well, here's another one, right? And this is the thing. Back years ago when we first started and what have you, social media wasn't saturated, right? So you didn't have to think about that. It was all new to everyone. So it's like, oh, I like these guys. I'm going to watch. And I'm going to stay and watch because I like them. And there's not loads of people out there. It's not a saturated market, right? And then what happens is it goes to, like, we had a 3-second rule. So the 3-second rule was in place because as people are scrolling and they come across your content, you've got 3 seconds to hook them in, to keep them there, to want to watch the rest of your video, right?
But most people work on that, but forget the retention. So the middle of the video is very boring, and then you just skip it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So I can't go deep into more lessons, but you are touching things like that.
That's terrible. I mean, most people, they're overemphasizing on hooks, but they're forgetting retention. So the videos, you have a very strong hook and a very strong ending, but the middle is just so weak that you're just skipping it.
Yeah.
We're all just, you know how addicted we are to just scrolling. Yeah. I scroll in my sleep.
That's unbelievable. So you get, it's a 3 second, first 3 seconds now, right? So, and why are we doing that? Because you need to get them into your video, keep them there, and then it's about retention, how you go about that, right? What is it now? It's no longer 3 seconds, my friend.
Less.
It's called 0.1 seconds is what we call it. As soon as someone lands on your content, you need to instantly grab them. You no longer have 3 seconds, my friend, because if you leave it for 3 seconds, halas, as you say, they're gone.
Oh my God. Yeah, 3 seconds is a very long time. You're talking about a good percentage of the video.
So it's 0.1 seconds now. And how do you do that?
That's very hard.
We optimize as much as we can that screen. We make that screen the longest we possibly can on our piece of content because there's different aspect ratios, right?
Interesting.
Okay, so if you're uploading something in landscape and I'm filling it as much as I can with the biggest aspect ratio, it takes you a lot longer to go past my video than it does someone else when they're flicking. And then what are we thinking about? 0.1 seconds, right in on the hook.
It's going to happen.
What else are we thinking about though? Saturation. Saturate the hell out of it. What color clothes am I wearing? I'll tell you what I wear in this video. I'm doing a piece to camera. It's like going to be hard to retain people. I'm going to wear a blue top. I'm going to saturate it. So when it comes across someone's timeline, I'm going to film it on grass where the grass in the background is almost luminous. Why? Because then when someone comes across it, it's like, whoa, interruption to the timeline. Or it's a pull out. These things is what hooking people. These are all the things we talk about in the course. These are the things that we teach people. We give them the knowledge to know about. Because now you don't have to learn it yourselves. We can give you that knowledge and help you. And do you know what's funny about this? Because we go back to it. This now is how many years ago you found the video. I haven't seen this in years. 7 years ago. You know what's funny about this one? That was less than 0.1 seconds, wasn't it?
It is.
Because what's the hook in this?
There's
you
a guy,
me.
And then there's a shoe, and then there's the red circle, which is very annoying, and I just have to look at it. What's the red circle?
And there's your hook, right? So this is at a time where we're probably thinking, in all honesty, our thing here, we're still thinking about the 3 seconds because in this time, 3 seconds was still a thing and that was good enough. Wait, like that's changed over time, but we happen to be doing it here.
You're so ahead of your time, man. What do you have, a time machine?
And I'll take that, but without even knowing, right? So there's no surprise.
No.
When
you
you've
knew
got
what
elements,
you were doing. This didn't come by accident.
No. We knew what we were doing in terms of like putting something there, but for us, it was retaining someone and getting them hooked within 3 seconds, right? Doing this here right at the beginning, our thought process wasn't 0.1 second, so that happened to just be
interesting. And then
lucky
you named
at
the
that
rule.
Point. Yeah, that got over time, so it was 3 second rule, and it's changed.
You're developing terms. You guys are scientists. Interesting.
I appreciate you saying that because there's a science to it. But straight away, what's the first thing your eye goes to? That. Okay, so this is where it all starts. This is the opening moment of the whole video.
And it's obviously like a train, which is a very relatable setting. Like, I know I've been on a train. Everyone's been on a train. So, what's going on? I've seen weird people on the train. Why are his shoelaces untied? What are his shoes? What's the magazine that guy's reading?
Yeah.
The subtitles.
Yeah. Make people understand what's going on.
Interesting.
Obviously,
so you knew. I'm very fascinated by this because everyone now knows these things because of TikTok and short form, but you guys were doing this way back when. And you knew that people don't increase. A lot of people watch content on silence. They watch content without sound.
There you go. Yeah, we found that crazy.
How'd you know that? How'd you know that?
Well, we done a lot of research, and if you do the research, you understand that. I don't know if this stat is the same, but it was like 70% of people consume content without sound.
Interesting, 70%.
Yeah, 100%. So. Not 100%.
So your videos are compatible with watching them without sound.
Yes, exactly. That's what your aim should be a lot of the time, is to make your video so it can be consumed by people regardless of where they are in the world. If you in all four corners of the world, you need to be being able to consume this content, understand what it is, what it represents, and what it's bringing to the table without anything to do with the language side of things. If you can make it, it's all about being visual, right? Let's think about an example. Okay, one of the biggest channels in the world, and it makes sense that it is, in terms of what it does, what it provides, and the understanding of this point. But Mr. Bean, you know Mr. Bean?
Who doesn't know Mr. Bean?
Okay.
And Teddy.
There you go.
Teddy. Who doesn't know Teddy?
Amazing. So,
Mr. Bean is international. Everyone knows him. Everyone.
What's the universal language?
Sign language. He doesn't speak.
There you go. Right. So if you can do this in your content, and don't get me wrong, you can always add value by speaking at times, this, that, and the other. But let that be as much as you can. And it's not possible in every piece of content. It's just simply not possible. And it depends what you want that content to represent, right? However, with a lot of stuff, especially viral content, what's going to go, you talk about wanting to win the trophy of going viral, then try and make it universal, give it the universal language, which is let it play out without you having to speak and people to work out what it is. If you add like a cherry on top because of what you're saying, because there's something funny you say, but people can work out exactly what this is and understand it. That's the key. How can you make them understand what it is without speaking? And how much can you make them connect with it? How much can you make them feel something with it? So here, what is our biggest element in this A&E?
What?
It's going to be surprise.
Yeah. I'm waiting to see what happens.
Why is it surprise?
It's interesting that you're taking inspiration from Mr. Bean.
Yeah. Well, is it?
Never thought about that. Like, you're stealing or you're getting inspiration from very unusual places. It's very interesting. What happens then? Wait, what? How did that happen? Is it reversed?
Okay, so you know when I said to you about the different types of content that we create and how
this is Zach King. You're doing Zach King content.
Yeah. I don't want to give away the trick, but this is what we used to do. So we do sketches, we do pranks, we do challenges. Like we weren't like a specific direction, right? We do magic tricks.
Were you experimenting at that stage?
All the time.
You're still experimenting.
I think that any content creator which stops experimenting is standing still, stagnating, and if you're doing that, you may as well be going backwards.
Interesting. It's very interesting. Even Mr. Beast brings this up a lot. He's like the best in the world. He always says that he's trying out new ideas. He's trying to increase emotions, which is one of the A&Es that you mentioned. Very interesting. Is this a visual like thing? Is it like CGI?
No, not a visual effect. No,
it's actually
it's an actual magic trick.
In camera.
So I'm going to break down and tell you how you do it, right? Yeah.
How?
I'm going to ruin it for you because it's very simple. It's very easy. So basically, all it is my am I allowed to divulge this? every other magician's doing it and ruining their whole world. So any of you magicians out there giving away your secrets, I'm doing it too. I might as well jump on your bandwagon. Anyway, so you've got a trainer and you've basically got laces undone, which looks like laces undone, which is my trainer. Okay.
Interesting.
All right. But basically what it is I've got in my pocket, yeah, which has got a hole in it, all right, sends long laces, yeah, down outside of my tracksuit bottoms, and it just falls out into a position. So ultimately,
it looks like it's undone, but it's not.
No. Okay. So let me start it again because I feel like I've got to do a better job of this. All right. So the laces to the actual trainer are done up.
They're fine.
But I'm wearing really baggy trousers now, right? So what happens is I tuck and we place the done-up laces underneath the trousers because they're baggy, right? But then inside my pocket are laces which are run straight away down out of the side of the leg and look like they are the ones connected to the trainer, right? Because they would not be. And then all you do, the part of it, is there's a contraption in your pocket. It's like a button. And you have to shake the leg, and you shake the leg. And as you shake the leg, you're pressing a button which pulls them up, and then it's sending the real laces from underneath the tracksuit bottoms to just come out. And because of the shake, it's like, oh my God, it's just done itself up.
Oh my God.
Which ruins.
It ruins everything.
Ruins that piece of content for you. But imagine you're like a football content creator. And here's a simple way of explaining it. And the World Cup's on. And you've got the World Cup final. And you go, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to upload my piece of football content today. The worst thing to do. Why? It doesn't matter how good your piece of content is, it is going to have a negative effect on that post. So no matter how good it does, even if it got 100 million views on the World Cup final day, you just missed out on possibly getting 200 million views.
It's a native timing.
Yeah, you've got to think about things. You've got to think about what's going on and around, you know, and like these are the considerations you've got to make. There's so many things. Like the content, in terms of the content creation process, like pre your shoot, during your shoot, and post your shoot, there's so many different facets and layers that you've got to be thinking about. And again, it's all learned experience from us, and that's why we put it into a framework to want to give people that knowledge. Because I tell you what, if we're going to do everything we can to make our course go viral, right, and get that trophy of our course going viral, because we believe it's going to do so much for so many people.
I think it's going to change people's lives.
Oh wow,
I think so. Yeah, and for any piece of content, if it's good, like you're talking about content with a lot of value. I'm shortcutting 13 years just by watching this course. So, of course, this course is life-changing for a lot of people.
Thank you so much.
Inshallah. We did some research.
Yes.
We found out that you guys were on Britain's Got Talent.
Yeah, we were. Jeez, yeah.
Yeah? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, this is so funny, right? Because we walk down the street now and people will stop us and they know us for what we do as like sort of in the sort of comedy content space, right? Like pranks, challenges, skits, sketches, and all that sort of stuff. And it's so funny when, like, I don't know, we might be playing a football game, or we might be, I don't know, I was on a podcast. Okay, this is a good example, right? I was on a podcast yesterday, all right? Okay, not yesterday, 2 days ago, whatever it was. And it was with a guy called AJ, man. Shout out to AJ, he's an absolute legend, great guy, and he works with his podcast. He's like powered by Red Bull. He's such a great person.
Interesting.
Yeah, great personality and just like good energy, man. Energy's unbelievable. And we're bouncing off each other because he played football. I played football in the past and what have you. And he was like, "Oh, I know a little bit about it," like, because once he found out like what we do in terms of our background, he was like, "You played football?" And I was like, "Yeah, I used to be an football entertainer." So me and Kleiny were literally the first freestyle double act doing synchronized football freestyle in the world.
No way.
Yes, it was in 2009. Like Kleiny, when you just brought up that Britain's Got Talent, we was on Britain's Got Talent 2009. Okay, and yeah, we were the first double act to do that, and people don't know about it. So when I was on the podcast, I said, "Look, if you've got a football, I'll show you what we can do."
You still do it?
Well, I put it this way, 10 years, I've probably touched the football like 5 times, right? But anyway, I was on the podcast and I thought, come on, the hours I put into it, like one of the tricks that I learned took me like about 6 months, 3 hours every evening for like 5 days a week to nail it. And it was being able to juggle the ball on the soles of my feet upside down. So I was on the podcast and like I go, "Oh, if you had a ball, I'd be able to show you what I mean." And he went, "Oh, it's funny you say that because his decoration on his set, he had like balls up here and the football was really flat." And he goes, "There's basketball there." And I went, "Oh, I'll use that." So I took the basketball down and put it upside down and started juggling on the soles of my feet. And I'm not even joking. I can't remember the last time I did it, but it was like riding a bike.
This is a historical episode. I think this is one of the guests that's like historical. Like we're now.
Yeah, what you're actually trying to say is that I'm a dinosaur in the social media world. Well, I am. When Instagram started, it was photos.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, mental.
I remember that very well. 16 years ago, Woody and Kleiny were supposed to be football freestylers.
Football freestyle entertainers. Yeah,
as a profession.
Yes, correct. We were doing that for. By that point, I'd been in the game for quite a while, so I'd been performing as a freestyler for quite a long time, and then kind of coached Kleiny up. And at first, when we first started it, he was playing at a football club, and he just loved all the tricks. Like one of my best friends is his cousin, and that's how I got to know Kleiny. Kleiny was about 8-9 years old, and then he loved what I was doing with all the freestyle. He played for a football club, and then he wanted to learn all of the stuff that I was doing, and I was like very clear to him, look, your focus is your football because that's what you need to do, and I will help you with some of your technical stuff, but remember the game's not played as a freestyler, and make sure you remember that, and so on. And then I trained him up, and it was originally, because I've got 9 years on Kleiny, I'm a bit older than him, but it was Woody and Mini-Me, because he had the same sort of technique as me, and we would do a double act synchronized, and it was really cute. It looked really good because it was like a mini-me doing the version at the same time.
Are we ever going to see this come back?
Well, no, because Woody and Mini-Me became Woody and Kleiny because he got too old for being Mini-Me, didn't he? And then he looks older than me because he's got a beard and I can't grow one.
He has a beard.
You have to teach me to grow beards like you lot, man. Although probably a good thing that I'm not, because I'm getting on now. The legs are going.
My God. So this is...
Britain's Got Talent, yeah. So anyone who knows Simon Cowell, he called me and you can play it out if you want, but he called me and Kleiny the Anti and Decky of football juggling.
Interesting.
And yeah, it was awesome. We did really well. We got 4 yeses, no X's at all, and everyone seemed to love it. It was cool.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Which one's you?
The one always on the...
This is you.
So, you know when people ask us who's who?
Yeah.
Do you know how you actually know who's who?
The older guy's you?
The easiest way to know is that in literally 99.9% of any piece of content we're in, we stand as it reads.
Woody on the left, Kleiny on the right. That's it.
Yeah, reads Woody and Kleiny. So if you ever want to know. Or...
My God, that's very interesting. Why'd you guys stop this?
Why did we stop?
Yeah, I know that one of you guys got an injury. I heard something about that.
Okay, so yeah, that's what kind of sent us on the journey of like social media in the way that we went, you know, as an entertainment duo, because Kleiny got a bad back injury. He was at a casting and basically jumped off like a low level little bench and jarred his back. And he's got like, he's actually got history in his family of bad back problems. And I think that's kind of filtered into him a little bit. But he basically slipped his disc and it's caused a lot of damage to his back in that area. And
what a world. I mean, that
stopped him
turned
from
out
performing.
to be for the better. And then now you're winning.
Oh, our world came crashing down at first.
Wow.
But then when you look back now and
it's the worst, best thing that's ever happened.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's the thing. We was like, look, what we're going to do now? And it's kind of like, we loved doing what we were doing together. We just had to kind of be packaged up and look in a different way. And that's where we kind of looked at social media was just emerging. It was really, really just starting. I mean, YouTube was a thing. I mean, people like to name someone who's really famous who back there, okay, KSI, he wasn't even on 1 million followers at this point. Sorry, subscribers.
Back when he used to live with his parents.
Yeah, all that
remember
sort of
his
stuff.
videos with his mom.
Yeah. So he wasn't even on like 1 million subscribers when that was all happening.
Back when him and his brother were like a duo.
Yes.
Before they fight.
Yeah. And then, we were just like, okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. Like, we just saw a gap in the market for like entertainment duo. When we kind of started, where we went from football, we then thought, right, what's the thing what naturally seems right for us? And we started doing comedy, football/sport comedy content.
Really?
As a double act, yeah. And then what we did was like, why are we just doing it in sport? Why don't we now just do this as comedy content? It opens us up to everything now. So we then completely dropped the ball and what have you, left that, and then kind of went in this space down here, which Kleiny had a lot of passion for that, to be fair. And I think that I have to give credit to him for really pushing, because we had brand deals started to come in when we were doing the comedy sports stuff.
Of course.
And he made a really good point, in fairness. And I was very pro, let's do this, but let's take we've worked so hard, we need to start making money, you know. And I've got a family, I've got a son and stuff like that. And I'm like, obviously that's slightly bit ahead age-wise. So I'm kind of looking at it through different eyes. And in fairness to it, and I kind of went, in fairness to both of us, but he did kind of present, look, it's going to be tough. It's not going to be nice to start off with, but let's not think about the money, because the money will come if we kind of get this bit right. And it was probably a blessing in disguise. We dropped the ball, we left it, and we collectively, me, Daryl and Kleiny, all made that decision to go, you know what, let's do it. And then we never looked back.
Are you against creators having a niche now? Like, if I was going to start now.
Go on, carry on. Sorry.
If I was going to start as a creator now, would you advise me to be a broad creator just like you guys for everyone? Or should I just create content for a specific group of people?
No, I'd say social media goes in so many different waves and directions, right? And what was right for us back then and what we did was kind of, we broke the mold at that point, right? But in truth, now more than any other time, I mean, I would say niching down is probably a good idea.
Really?
Yeah.
In retrospect, if you were to do it again, would you niche down?
Oh, no, it's not. Yeah, but you got to remember what you're saying, doing it again from then or doing it again from now, because we're talking about two different eras now.
Interesting.
Aren't you? You know, so take me back to where we was. I don't think we would have changed that direction. I think we'd do it in the same way.
But if you were to start today, you would niche down.
Yeah, most probably.
Probably.
I'd say so. Yeah, I'd say so.
More USPs.
Yeah, there's a lot of layers to that question in terms of why you would, which I don't know if you've got enough time on this.
Yeah.
And you want to go in that direction, but yeah, I think that would make sense.
I have a question. Mr. Beast has a quote. This is very popular. Mr. Beast says, if you improve something small in every video you produce, by the time you reach 100 videos, you're guaranteed success.
Okay.
What do you think about this?
Okay, so this may split some opinions, because ultimately people are going to go to me, well, what do you know? He's Mr. Beast. I agree with everything in that, apart from the word guarantees. You did say guarantee there, right?
Yeah, it does.
That's the only thing that I would say. I would say it will put you in a position, like a really strong position. I don't think there are any guarantees in life, and this comes back to something maybe a little bit more personal, really. But ultimately, I'll be honest with you. There's only one guarantee in life.
Death.
Correct. And I think if you are someone, in all honesty, you can only be disappointed by guaranteeing anything to anyone or promising anything to anyone, because in that scenario, you can only let people down. So I never promise anything to anyone. I'll do my best, utmost best, to do absolutely everything I can to help you. One thing I can't do is promise you something which I'm not in control of, because of things which are like an act of God, like, you know, like what could happen, and all of a sudden you're not around to be able to go and make that happen. So I promise you something which wasn't possible. It's out of my hands. Do you know what I mean? So I think there's no guarantees in life whatsoever. The only one, like you just said, which was great timing from you, we're like a double act ourselves, is actually death. Yeah.
If you could advise yourself at the age where you first started and with content, one piece of advice, what would it be?
So if I could give myself one piece of advice to the person who started my journey, if I could go back and do that, that's a really good question. Okay, I know what my piece of advice is. Yeah, really good piece of advice. I'm just like, and just going back to it, we're just developing this online course, right? Which is taking things that we do and we know off of social media, because of the algorithms and the products changing constantly, and the platforms ultimately being very volatile, right? You put your always, you can, throughout your journey, you're going to be you can be in quite a vulnerable position at times during your journey. And I think that the one thing, if I was to go back and listen to myself from now, I would make sure that we look at doing certain things where we take aspects of what we do, what we can monetize from, to give us some stability, away from social media, so off of social media. That doesn't mean it can't be supported by social media, but what it does, it puts us in a position where if we can monetize from this stuff over here, which isn't reliant on social media, it's not reliant on an algorithm, it's not reliant on a product which that particular platform is providing at the time, which then changes to another one. Because these are the things what makes, like there's no social media creator who's going to be getting a consistent income like this. It's just going to be going like this constantly.
Wait, but this...
Whereas this can give you, sorry to finish, but this will basically give you some stability.
This is scary.
Quicker.
Yeah. This is going to scare a lot of creators, because a lot of people now, they want to pursue content creation. But you're saying it's not stable enough?
Well, no, it's not, no.
If you're not smart enough, it's not going to be stable.
Correct, but that's what I'm saying. So if I go back, I'm now thinking about what I can do off of it as well.
Yeah.
Because if you've got all of this happening, and social media has changed our lives, you know, it's given us the most unbelievable experience in our lives, but it's literally changed our lives financially, where it put us in a position where we was able to do things that we'd never be able to do in our wildest dreams. And we're so thankful for it. And that was because of monetizations, and no getting away from that. But what it is, it's so volatile, it's so up and down, that it's so inconsistent in that way. And all it takes is for a product to change on a platform where they go, we're not doing reels no more, we're doing static posts like Facebook did.
Yeah.
If that doesn't lean into your business model, then you've built up a team, and that is your platform that you monetize from the most, you're very vulnerable, and so is your team. And you don't want to be in a vulnerable position. So I think, to answer your question, and I've gone probably around the houses a little bit, I think if I go back and I look at myself back then, I would be a little bit more mindful of that side of things, and I would start to do things off of social media that can add to the stability of our business, because then our social media can always support it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But that's a very interesting point. Right? Do you think a lot of creators fall into this mistake?
We certainly did. We created our own clothing line, but the only problem with that was it was what it represented, what it was. There's quite a lot of big overheads what go into a business like that. So although we was taking something offline, off of social media, it was a tough one for us, because the quality of the clothing, the margins, which are there, and we didn't run it well enough as a business,
right?
Because we are social media creators.
We're not business people.
Probably should. You acquire skills as you go along. You should learn and become more entrepreneurial and become business people, because the best ones who do that, like Mr. Beast and what have you, don't end up in a vulnerable position because they take so much off of social media. But yeah, we tried to do that with Luck Clothing, but we didn't run it correctly. We should have probably got a skill set in who does clothing, does fashion, and then basically brought them on board for a percentage of this to run it properly, because it was profitable for a long period of time. It's just then we started doing things where our answer was just to like throw money at it, but do bigger quantities now, and we'd be able to turn on the lights in our local community for Christmas, and just because we're doing a pop-up shop inside, being like, go and grab a load of boxes, we'll give out a load of product, but that product not being monitored properly, and it should go down as marketing budget so it can go against the books correctly in a space of marketing, but it was never book kept correctly. So then it shows negatively on the balance sheet when it comes to any investor looking at it. So they're just going to look at the balance sheet, how it was. And because we didn't run it in that way, we're like, just let everyone have fun, can't give it. We want people to love it. And we're just giving people like that. It's all about energy with us. But that's not good for business. And I think we got burnt quite badly with that. So we put that project on ice. But it's a good product. It's still there. We've got the trademark for a lot of it. We have the website. The brand was called Let Us Create, LUC, Luck. It represents our journey, because basically when we're working with brands, the name came from basically working with brands, and they would always kind of dictate what they wanted you to do. They come to you because they want the brand deal, and then they'd be like, do this, can you do that, do this, do it in our way. And we'd be like, look guys, you come to us because you want us, just let us create. And that's where the meaning came from. So it's got a good sort of history to it. But we parked it up, and I think one day, who knows, we may visit it again if someone comes on board in a way where we can be like, right, you're a business person who knows this world, why don't you do that? We'll just promote it, and then let's do this properly as a business, and not think about obviously it being our audience to support it necessarily, because that's a small percentage of that. It needs to be like, you need to obviously do like online, like sponsored ads and stuff like that. That's how it's going to grow and go big. Yeah. And you need people to understand that world, which as we didn't. Business. And we tried to do that and what have you, and we got burnt a little bit. But now we're thinking, right, how can we design something which gives a lot of value at minimal cost?
Hence the courses.
Yes. And you know what? I believe it will change lives. I truly do. In terms of people that are in the social media world or coming into it and really want to have an impact and be able to basically fast track the knowledge that they simply don't have, because they haven't got the 13 years of experience. So we're going to give it to you all in one place. We just can't give you those other things that come within, and that's like turning up those professional skills, focus, dedication, hard work, sacrifice. And like, don't get sacrifice and hard work twisted either, because everyone can work hard. That's a given. Everyone should be able to do that. And if you can't do that, like that's literally the bare minimum. Sacrifice is different, and people get them too confused. There's a huge difference between sacrifice and hard work. Sacrifice is me being out here in the UAE away from my son when he's playing, and I'm missing 2 of his football games, and I can't be there for him, and he's 13 years old, and I'm missing that. I'm not witnessing that. I'm not getting that time with my son, and I'll never get that back. That's true sacrifice. Am I working hard? Of course I am. I'm away, I'm working hard, but that's a given. I was always going to do that.
But that's not going to get you success.
No, exactly.
Sacrifice. Everyone works hard, but not everyone's successful. 13 years ago, do you know how many content creators, do you know how many YouTubers were around 13 years ago? They're nowhere to be seen now. They all worked hard. Yeah. Maybe they worked harder than you. Yeah. But you're still here.
Yeah, fair.
That's very important.
Although they may have pivoted and gone into other things and diversified.
Which is kind of smart as well.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know a lot of them who are actually very, very successful business people, entrepreneurs, who they just can't stand content creation anymore. But then they took a lot of what they were doing and took it off of social media. If anything, I said a lot of them are smart. There are many who just fall away because they can't last the test of time, because they haven't learnt to pivot and stuff. But there's a lot who have kind of got out of the game and put themselves in an amazing position to own unbelievable businesses. There's a guy who we know quite well called Casper Lee, and
I know, who doesn't know Casper? He's one of the OGs.
Yeah, but when I say I know him, we know him to talk to and what have you.
He's amazing.
Yeah, he is. And what he's done.
Where is he now?
Unbelievable.
He's not doing content anymore,
mate. He's an entrepreneur, man. He's he's involved in VCs and all sorts.
Really?
Yeah.
He was part of the OG UK YouTubers. Man. I remember.
Yeah.
The girls, him. Oh my God, that was an era.
So that's what I mean. With someone like him, you can't put him in that sort of bracket, right? Because he chose to kind of go and do what he was doing to become so much more of a success elsewhere, right?
Interesting. But I believe that
successful
people will be successful in anything they do.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually, because they know how to sacrifice. I think this is the key thing. Do you know what a nice full circle moment on that point is like, when you go back to it, is I think that the people that prevail and are the most successful in anything are the people that are willing to sacrifice. And I believe that most people in social media, I don't think that they get lucky or anything like that. I think that they sacrificed a lot in order to get to where they are. And if you're someone who wants to make it in this game, then be prepared to sacrifice. And the more you sacrifice, the more successful you can be. And do you know who's a living example of that? Because no one sacrifices more than that man, is Mr. Beast. The man sleeps at his,
he
at
lives
his
in his
studios.
office.
And like ultimately what he's done, and people talk about it, it's very well documented, you know. So but like, I've got no aspirations to be that big, you know, like that's not what I want to do. I'm not like, I don't think that a lot of people can. You've probably not got the ability to either. You know what I mean? Which is what I feel is fair enough.
Leave more for us on the table. If you're not hungry enough to be successful, you're just leaving more on the table. I'm gonna be hungry enough. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, for sure.
It allows other people to be successful. If you're not gonna go out and get what you want, if you're not gonna be the YouTuber you're gonna be, someone else is gonna be that YouTuber.
Yeah.
Whatever idea we've had. I mean, of course, you've had ideas that you didn't execute, and then you just see someone post it and you see it on your feed and it just burns your heart, and then you just go out and do it. It's very interesting. We have an interesting segment here. This is we looked at a lot of your videos. This could be a weird post. The title of this segment is "What was going on inside your mind when you posted this?"
Okay.
Yeah. It's a bit of an interesting one.
Starting from like the very beginning, the combination of three now to get more reach.
It's funny. It's one of my favorite videos. This.
How is this one of your favorites? You have legendary videos. How is this one of your favorites?
Because we're just being absolute arseholes. And we're just being so clever with what we're doing, and we're making a viral piece of content which is absolutely genius. Absolutely genius.
Oh my God.
I can't remember the last time I've seen this.
Wait, this is real. Like, what did she know that this is gonna happen?
You've seen it.
Yeah.
It was just brilliant. Like, the worst thing she could have done was to do that in a space where we are.
My God. Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah.
She signed up for worst thing. She signed up for it. Absolutely. It's like me complaining about like being pranked by Kleiny for something. I've signed up to this. I know this is, but you have definitely made a big mistake doing that, because as soon as we knew that you like, because obviously when we're doing what we're doing and we've got a team, you know what your team's up to, what they're scheduled for the day, so you know when you can shoot. So we're back, obviously getting creative, thinking, oh, we can do something classic here, and that's what we did. We obviously put it all into it. And
so her reactions are real.
Oh, it's amazing. It's
really?
the best ever. Yeah.
My God.
So a lot of it she's not seeing though. You got to remember that she's just hearing it.
How is she still?
So point being, right, is her focus is obviously on her Zoom call, right?
Yeah, she's trying.
So the only thing that's putting her off the most is the sound, really, right? Because she's facing that way, she can't see nothing, can she?
Yeah.
So like a lot of it, she's not even witnessing, and then she just turns around and sees us coated like that.
That's a very interesting sight to see.
You find it funny. What are you doing?
It keeps getting worse.
But this is the great thing about it. So obviously, she's on a Zoom call, a business work call. They know that she works with us. So like, they're on a call with her for whatever the business meeting's about, but like they get it, right? So they get it with content creators. So when it's unfolding she obviously just alludes to it there. Like, I'm glad you find it funny.
Was the meeting successful?
I have no idea. I'll be honest with you, I don't actually care. Because it was so long ago, but.
Poor girl.
This is coming to the end now. That's what's so great about it, though, isn't it?
It's brave content. I mean, I respect the bravery.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sorry.
Interesting. And you're what? Whoa.
So see this toilet here? Like we
Interesting. You start with the toilet, with the title. She's on a Zoom meeting. I mean, thank you for telling me she's on a Zoom meeting. Duh.
Yeah.
And there's a pointing finger. Why? Where's the red circle?
Well, so the different things that you do, right? Because it's like, why are you pointing? So basically, this is all to engage you, to get you hooked in, right?
Experimenting.
Yeah,
You're experimenting. My God, this is amazing.
Because ultimately, when you're looking at that, like for argument's sake, if you bring it back on screen, it's basically so go back.
My God, the toilet. I cannot get over the toilet. Where'd you get the toilet from?
And that's the thing, we can't afford for the viewer at this point. So if you pull it all the way back, is he walks in with that. What we can't afford is for our viewer not to understand what's going on here. So if you lose this finger here, and you lose this word in here, right? When we go, let me pull this quickly. Is it there? You do it for me?
Yep.
So yeah, just pause it on it and keep it there if that's all right. Right, yeah. So basically, if you lose this stuff here, your focus straight away is going to him because he's walking in with a bloody toilet. So at that point, you're taken away from this moment here. Why did that keep happening? Are you touch screen on here?
No, it's not.
It's mad. But basically, we can't allow the viewer to not understand what this is.
Really?
So you just said, well, duh, obviously she's on a Zoom call.
Yeah.
Right? But our thinking is, yeah, but we need to make sure you understand that if you're someone who's looking over here at someone walking in with a toilet. If someone's walking in with a toilet, you're not going to be bothered what's over here, and then it might not register as well. So we need to make it idiot-proof, right? And this sounds really rude, right? But you've got
make it idiot-proof.
Yeah, and it sounds pretty rude, but
no, we
don't mean this directly to individuals in any way, shape, or form. But you need to treat everyone who's consuming content like they're an idiot. Like they're silly, they're stupid, they don't understand.
Because they're busy, their minds are.
Yeah, you got to spoon feed people to make sure they understand everything, right? So, and that's not saying people are. It's just because people are on a train and there's people moving by and what have you, and you still want them to get the context of what's going on. So you've got to use this stuff in order to make people understand every facet of it, right? So we know we're coming in, I mean, this was 0.1 seconds. So it's really clever because we're at this moment in time, we're very much on the 3-second rule, but we're actually doing things a lot of the time at 0.1 seconds without even realizing it because we need the context. And that's why this goes on screen here. It's really important this goes on screen because then you get both and you can't miss this. You can't miss that she's on a Zoom.
But as an idiot myself, as a person watching, it's going to take me 2 times watching this to realize these things. The first time watching it, I did not see the toilet.
Yeah, but you'll see it anyway because he sits on it.
Yeah, you're either going to see the girl or the toilet. I looked at the Zoom meeting, and then the second time I saw it, I saw the toilet.
No, but you wouldn't have done. Because if I'm gonna tell you now, you're gonna watch it again, right? Because you're now thinking of that as you're trying to look at this now. But when you was actually consuming this for the first time, you've seen this, which you just said to me, which was the key for us, because you've read that, right? He's walked into the toilet with the toilet. You still see the toilet, because what's the next scene? Press play.
Wait.
The next part to it, you're not going to miss the toilet. We know you're not, because he sits down on it and we go for a close-up on it.
Starting from like the very beginning of the combination.
So pause it now. So basically the next scene, the writing comes off, the finger comes off, which is told everyone the story she's on a Zoom, as he's walking in, because what we can't afford to do is them not to know that she's on a Zoom at this moment, that not be clear, because we're going to make sure they know that there's a toilet there, because the next thing, it cuts to the next shot, which is a close-up of him sitting on the toilet, which you've already seen. So if someone sees the toilet, great, but if you're not going to miss it on the second bit.
This is unreal, man. All this effort into into short form.
Oh my God, I would love to.
How long did this take to edit?
I wouldn't be able to tell you or remember. I think it wouldn't have taken that long, something like this, because how long was she on that for? You might have had like 5 minutes of rushes or something, because of who knows. I wouldn't be able to tell you that stat anymore. It's a long time ago, but it wouldn't have been that hard because we set up like the camera hidden at a distance. And this is the thing. This is a great thing about using mobile phones a lot of the time. That's why we use them, is because you can prop them up and they're so like unnoticeable.
Yeah, it's just a phone.
Yeah, and you can hide it behind things. So like this phone here was probably like, I think we might have had like a shelf or something. And then we would basically put a phone and then you could just lean it up against like a plant pot where the lenses coming through. Yeah. So it's like really easy to kind of set up things like that. And like that's all, like, I mean, it doesn't move off that angle, I believe. And all we do is punch in. Sometimes we shoot things off of 2-3 different angles. Do you know what I mean? So it's then you can cover all different bases. But
this is in 2021. In 2021, you're talking about short form when short form had just started. With the current algorithms,
it started booming. I'd say.
Yeah. It started booming.
I don't think it started. It definitely started a long time before.
It started like Vine. I mean,
exactly. Well, there you go. Yeah, and
Vine
Instagram
was the essence of it.
Yeah.
But you're talking about these rules that everyone knows now. But these rules back then, I didn't know them.
Yes.
Most people didn't know them back then. You knew them.
Yes, yeah. And probably previous to this as well, actually, because we're talking about...
Time machine. I believe these guys have a time machine. They came back from the future. These guys are unreal.
But you know what it comes back to, in all honesty? If you've got one video, you have X data, right? You've got 10 videos, you've got Y data. You've got 100 videos, you got Z data, yeah? So you've got data dependent on, obviously, the amount that you've done. Now, obviously, there's going to be more patterns in 10 videos than there is one. And there's going to be more patterns in 100 videos than there is 10.
Trial and error.
Yeah, so ultimately, though, is if you create in a lot of content over a long period of time, you have endless amounts of data. And if you don't study that data, it's scandalous. You need to be monitoring and understanding what goes good, what goes bad. And this is another thing we're teaching in our course, is that you need to separate yourself from vanity metrics. Vanity metrics, okay, you need to completely detach yourself from them. As a content creator...
What do you mean by vanity metrics?
Likes for this, comments, and
you don't look at likes and comments.
Saves. Of course you do.
What are your metrics?
But you need to detach yourself emotionally from them. They're data. You want them, but you can't get connected to them. You can't get like into a position where you have a bad day because of it, because they hit you in a way where it ruins your day or it makes you feel that your post is unsuccessful. By the way, some of our least successful posts are our most successful ones.
What?
Yes.
What?
Because I've learned so many valuable lessons from the data. There is no such thing as a bad post if you look at it as data. What it comes down to is you understanding, and don't get ahead of yourself when your post goes well. Don't look at it and get on your high horse and go, yeah, we've gone viral, we won our trophy. Yeah. Like, great. It's an amazing feeling when it happens.
Dopamine.
Yeah. People, and that's the thing. But this is the problem with it. And that's why you've got to detach yourself emotionally from your content, okay? Because if this is your content here, let's give a line here, and anything above that line is success, and anything below that line is not success, you're doing that based on your emotion, not because of it being data. If you look at it as data, if it goes down here and you pull it apart and you understand what is in it, it's a success. Because all you do is you look at what went bad, you make sure that like you try and you push to not make that happen again, because that's where we've fallen off. And then when we do in our next post here, the aim is not to let that happen again, so we can go in that direction. So you don't get bad posts if you look at it as data.
There are no such things as bad posts.
If you look at it in the way that I look at it.
That's a great perspective. I mean, it's very... Oh my God.
It does. It, of course, in views, what people perceiving it as, it will look as a bad post. But that doesn't mean you can't learn from it and basically take your learnings in order to...
You learn more from unsuccessful content than you learn from successful content.
No, you learn just as much.
Wow. So don't
in both directions. No matter what direction you go, it's data, you learn from it, period.
So don't get upset. Separate your feelings.
Don't be happy when you have it go, if it goes well done, but don't get too ahead of yourself. But equally, when something doesn't go well, don't let it ruin your day and take yourself away from the things that really matter. And that's stripping it apart and understanding that this is a piece of data for you to analyze, understand, learn from, and then implement your findings into your next post.
Yeah.
You don't lose, you learn.
Very
It's
tough concept.
It's very cliche, but
it's a very tough. A lot of people wouldn't understand this because they're in this addiction.
Yes.
In today's day and age, everyone is addicted to numbers. Their self-worth is measured by their numbers.
Yes.
I know content creators. When he's happy, I know his numbers are good.
Yeah.
When his numbers are down, he's literally depressed.
Yes. And you know what? And I think only time teaches you to be able to deal with that. And I think it's good. That's why we talk about it in my course. That's why we talk about it in our course, is because if you can understand and separate yourself emotionally from this and see your content as data, don't get too ahead of yourself. Be happy. Like, we all get happy if we get 100 million views. That shows you've done something right. Okay, so enjoy those wins, but don't get ahead of yourself.
Wow.
Yeah, don't get ahead of yourself and think
don't celebrate early.
Yeah, whether you celebrate early or anything, don't over celebrate, because there's always going to be a post that goes the other way. But don't look equally as much as, like, don't over celebrate about what you're doing here. Be happy that you've done it, but when you get a bad post, don't give yourself a hard time. Understand that we can win here still, because this isn't a bad post. It's data. It's not a bad post. It just gives you data to learn from. So it's actually a good post for you to learn from. See it as a good post because it's a learning experience. Because you can't change it. You can't, like, unless you want to just take it off and then re-edit it and re-upload it and what have you. But you can't change that piece of content at that point. So what you've got to do is learn from the data and then implement your findings into the next one. And there might have been some good things in there as well.
There has to be.
Yeah.
What's your opinion on the insecure content creator? The creator that posts content, if it doesn't perform well, he archives it.
Oh, we archive content all the time.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that, like, why do you do that? I mean, your perspective is that all content's good.
No. All content's, when I say all content's good, all content is good from a point of view of giving you data. Like, my end product of my video, which fell below the line, is not a good video because it didn't go above the line. What is good from it is it's given me data, and I look at it as data. Don't look at it emotionally. Look at it as statistics. Look at it as maths equation, okay? I got the maths equation wrong. It went that direction. You're not going to, like, if you're in a maths exam and you get the question wrong, it didn't go in the direction you wanted to because it didn't get the right answer. You learn from what you did in order to get the wrong answer to put it right for the next one. That's all you're doing with social media content. So strip yourself away, take the emotion out of it, and understand it as data. And if you do that, then all posts are a good post in that way because you can learn from them. But that doesn't mean a post that obviously doesn't go viral or doesn't get good views and what have you. That's not success for creators, is it?
You
Of course
learn
it's
what
not.
not to do.
Yeah, exactly. And so as the content sits, that's not what that's not your benchmark for success. Of course it's not. And why do we archive? Because we post every day, right? On, like, across our channels.
Every day.
But some of our channels, so take Instagram, it will be less though, because we're very particular in a different way. Because it represents something different, and I think that the way people consume on Instagram and it's just not a platform that we can post every day, because some of our content just doesn't represent what people would want to see on a day. It's maybe sometimes too rough around the edges or something, so it's not going to perform. So we've learned that sort of content's not working there. So through data.
Do you believe that the platforms are different? Like, do you believe that YouTube Shorts content should be different from TikTok content, that should be different from Instagram content?
Okay, so most of the time, you can shoot one piece of content and use it on all platforms.
Exactly.
Because it's just a case of how you re-optimize it. Okay, so how it's edited, how it's cut, how you bring that to the platform. So we always, if we can, we'll always make, like, clipped content from something. We'll make whatever the clip is the most entertaining piece we can. We'll make a 60-second, a 90-second, a 2 minute and 59, a 3-minute and a 3-minute plus if it needs it. So when we've got like this is probably a good thing to kind of people to know as well. Actually, I need to make a note on that because that's going to go in the course. But basically, I'm learning things all the time. But basically, when we obviously get a piece of content, we make sure that we re-optimize it for every sort of angle that we can. Also, like we've got a library where all of our content is in one place, and it shows when we upload it what we've got. What those different versions are, which ones have been used when they've been used. So then in the future, we know what we can go back to and use. So say for argument's sake, Instagram starts favoring 3-minute videos and we've used a 90 seconds version of something. We can go, well, that was a real huge success at that point. We haven't used a 3-minute, which actually adds value in a different way. We can now post a clip, which is fresh piece to the algorithm. A lot of our audiences, obviously, some of them are coming, some of them are going, what have you, grow. So a lot of people don't see those pieces of content. So it's like a fresh piece in itself. You can then obviously upload from there again. And you can upload that content again. And the amazing thing about having that database, if you do trap it correctly and have a library, is that a new platform comes around. You've got endless content to post to a new platform without having to make a piece of content for going forward on it. So Snapchat, we started a couple of years back, and literally on Snapchat, we could have posted like 3 times a day for like 3 years or something if we wanted to, without even creating a piece of content.
Just sitting at home.
If we wanted to, yeah. So something comes out, we've got a library there to utilize. I'm definitely making a note of that because it's so amazing. Because as you're going through this process, you start, we've been writing this for a long time, and I think that they'll end up always being little things that I'll go, I missed that, but we could do updated modules at that point. 100%. Do you know what I mean?
Because most of the courses that we're seeing creators pump out, it's very generic. I can find the same stuff they're saying. I can find it on TikTok.
This is exactly.
I can literally find it. Like show me a course right now. I can find you a TikTok by Gary Vee 6 years ago talking about the same point. These creators, they're making these courses. But you know what? It's the same thing as a fragrance business. It's the same thing. This is why creator businesses fail. Because creators, they just take a product, they take an iPhone, and then they just slap their logo on it. It's like, your iPhone. Well, I don't care. I can buy it from Apple. I can buy the real thing. Most creators don't work on the products they're selling. And this is why Prime is Prime.
Yes.
This is why Prime is so successful. And my dad buys Prime. Because Prime is a good product and it's like has an idea. Now, some people may differ in this opinion, Annie.
It depends on it depends on who you are.
You're a sports person. It's not a real sports energy drink.
It's a very successful brand.
Did you see the stores? They're giving it for free. Even back home in Kuwait, they're giving Prime for free because they bought a lot of it and then they're just giving it for free because the hype was so big.
Well, it was viral, wasn't it? It went viral.
But what's happening now is the correction. Like this is normal. Now it's selling normally. Well, that was abnormal. Very interesting.
By the way, just because you spoke about Prime, I might as well let you know about this, right? Because when Prime was going viral, okay, we have videos where we're doing, say, a memory test video, okay? Now, with this memory test video, basically, let me give you a picture, right? So one of us would stay behind a curtain, yeah? And then, the curtain would be down, and you'd have 5 objects here, okay? And they're all in an order, right? Yeah? So I'm looking at them. I need to study the order. Curtain goes up. Kleiny would move them into a different order. Curtain comes down. And now I've got to remember where the order was and to get them right, okay? Memory test. So we knew the memory test formula in terms of, the way that this video would play out was going to be a viral video. And we knew what to do and all of the different formulas we're going to put within it and the strategies we're going to play with this video. We're going to help it head towards virality, right? But what we're using as these 5 things to remember now, well, I'll tell you what we're going to do is we're going to think about something which is going viral at the moment. We could add another layer to it. So what's that? Because now we're talking about the tea, which is topical, which is trending. And what's trending? Prime's trending. So what we'll do is we'll get 5 different coloured Prime bottles and we'll use those as the memory test because anyone who comes across Prime, it was any video we did with Prime was going viral. So they were sending us stuff and they loved it because they were going viral. We're like, we're here for it because you ain't paying no one because you don't need to. So it's not even a brand deal and what have you. You don't have to do that, but they'll send you the product.
Looks like a brand deal.
No, but it wasn't. We was just using it was never. It never came across like that as well, which was great because it just looked like we used their bottles because they're so visual.
Very visual.
And for that video, it was genius. And so if we look at his A&E elements, right? So Surprise would have been in there because people would have been surprised if we got it right or wrong or what have you. I mean, you got humor. We would have been doing some funny bits in there. But what these percentages would have been like, some of them would have been quite low, some of them quite high, what have you. But the one which is probably the highest, which probably went into the 90s, is we've managed to now put a trend in there, which is topical, which is prime. So we've done that, right? And we haven't worked hard for it. So this is what I talk about, not trying to really ram these elements into a piece of content if it doesn't work.
Force it.
But naturally, we can put one of the most powerful ones in there of trend at the moment, which is prime. Halas.
My God. And if you were to do it like a couple months back, you would have used Labubus.
Labubus. There you go.
We're going to take a look at the most successful piece of content you've done so far. How many views does this video have?
I think that's not far, just under around 600 million views, I think.
Yeah.
Is that right?
And this video, since it's your most successful video, it has 22 million likes. This video. 17,000 comments. If you were to redo this video now, how would you redo it and what would you change, if anything? Let's take a look.
Oh, I know that one.
Did I do it right?
That's the remix.
Oh! Whoa!
Wow. Legit, that's easy.
Oh, sick!
You're so close.
Would you change anything if you were to redo the video?
No.
Wouldn't change a
I
thing.
don't think so. Looking at it, can't really spot anything. I mean, if you look at it, it's so visual. The framing of the camera, the way it's set up, it's so aesthetically pleasing. There was a reason we put like the coloured waters in there the way it was, because really and truthfully, like when you're designing this, it just needed obviously the different volumes of water, right? But what made that obviously even better was having those colours there. They just look really pleasing on the eye, right?
Yes.
But they're not going to contribute to the sound or anything, which isn't a part of the video which matters so that much for a consumer. But it's more pleasing on the eye. That's where it does obviously please them. Obviously straight at the top, very obvious what this is all about. Gets the sound, very in your face.
Why the capital letters?
Very obvious. Yeah, like maybe at the time. Yeah, but to make it really clear what it was, to make it really in people's faces. Capital letters at the time might have been a thing which people were using a lot more of at the time, which made sense. Yeah, the red obviously on that to make it like eye line wise straight away where it to go to. We used the clothing we were using as well was high colors, big colors, which
very saturated.
Yeah, well, saturation to a certain degree, but it's more so those colors pop because if you look at the background, like
it's very plain.
Yeah, you got a beige background, so which means all of this here, all this color is just jumping out at you, and then even the masks, we're using these because people like take a look at the masks and then kind of I mean, like look at the state of them might be commenting about that because in our eye, I mean I don't know, like 17,000 comments, right? But there might have been some funny comments about the different things 100%. That we're wearing. Do you know what I mean? And then this stuff here was actually our clothesline, Luck Clothing, and there were two bright colours. And then when you're obviously doing and playing the game, you're taking some like there's such a surprise element every time I get it right? And then they're waiting for Kleiny, and we talk about, I won't go into it, but Disney characters, you know, I'm becoming the hero in the Disney film. Kleiny's becoming a different character within it, you know, so we play different characters. Well, in this, we're not playing different characters in a way where it's like, how can I explain it? I'm good at this sort of stuff, so people are consuming it, and naturally the Disney character's coming into it, if that makes sense.
Interesting.
Because he's not very good at it, and I am, so people are relating to it in a way where you might be really bad at music, so you relate to Kleiny as a character.
Interesting.
And then the next person might be really good at music and relates to me because they got a good ear and they're like, this is awesome, you know, and they see me as like the hero.
And does that happen in all the videos? So you're building characters whilst doing challenges. Therefore, people have a relationship with you. They feel like they know you.
Yes, that's the side of things. You're trying to drive as deep as you possibly can to connect with people and make them feel something. Look, any video that you're making, I think the key thing is like even short videos, everything's a journey and a story. And you want to make people feel something. You want to connect with people in whatever way it may be. And sometimes people connect with people because, I don't know, they anger them. Happens a lot. Like you mentioned, like Andrew Tate, you know, a lot of what he does, whether you love him or hate him, what he does do is make you feel something.
Yeah.
And if you feel something, you're going to comment to either say, I agree with you, or you're going to comment to say, I disagree with you. And a lot of the time, he will spike and he will go viral because his views are very strong. And whether people agree with him or disagree with him, one thing what they certainly do is feel something from him.
But that's controversy. We're not talking about controversy here. This is...
No,
good.
Feeling something.
Yeah.
I know you're saying he
says like wild stuff. Like he says things that are
for sure
absurd.
No, 100%. But like, regardless of what he's saying, whether it is controversial or not, there's going to be an element of people who are either going to agree or disagree with him. He's making people feel something. That's all I'm getting at. So when you strip it down,
all videos follow the same rules.
So yeah, video, you just need to make people feel something. Like the more you make someone feel something, if it's hollow and people don't connect with it, it's not going to be successful.
The human element's gone.
Could be the human element. It could be so many different factors. I mean, what's in this that really gives us? I mean, like we know what we're doing here, but like, what is? I mean.
There's no real human element. Like, it's not like a homecoming video.
No,
where like a war veteran comes home and his wife is crying and you're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
So exactly. So when you look at this, like there's not much going on. And I haven't dived into this, but the Disney effect, which we wrote, and like
neutral. It's very neutral. Your content's very neutral.
Yeah, well, this is.
Yeah.
But like, not like this is just this video, right? And this video is just probably the biggest formula which is used in this one, which matters, is this A&E. You know, this A&E is probably important in pretty much everything that we do. But then there's other formulas which you play towards, you look at, and so on. And like, there's not much of, which without going to do too many details of the Disney effect in this.
Did you expect this video to be your most successful video?
No. No,
not even a little bit.
No, not success. Yeah, but your question was, did we expect it to be our most successful video? No, we didn't. We expected it to be successful though, but we didn't know what that success would look like.
Why you have, in my opinion, you have way better videos.
Yeah. I get
Why
that.
is this the most successful?
Oh, so universal. It's like this connects with everyone. Like if you're watching this on silent, well, you can't watch it on silence. Well, you can actually, believe it or not, because the numbers thing, it's like that. But people will then be
the colors.
And even if they're tempted to go.
If you're Chinese and you don't speak English, you can understand the video.
Yeah, you right. So everyone knows those sounds. They're nursery rhymes type thing.
Yeah.
So people have heard these sounds all around the world, and it's really pleasing on the ear when you hear it happening.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just when I step back and now look at it from obviously afar, once we had done it and we then started going, Jesus, let's understand why this has done so well. It obviously these things then kind of present themselves, you know, and a lot of the time it's good to kind of write down like what things are going on in it, and you write things down, you see different patterns in a different way, because you're like, when you're thinking in your head, like it's all up in the air in your head, right? But as soon as you get it down onto something, onto paper, and it dumps it out, not only is it in your head, it's in front of you, you can see it with your eyes, and you start seeing patterns. And I think this is the sort of stuff that people need to be doing.
You're a data analyst.
There you go, yeah.
You're more a data analyst than a content creator. Amazing.
But as you go along, you start being able to do the data a bit quicker as well.
I have a question. So the percentage of people that are beginners in content creation is way bigger than the percentage of people with a lot of experience.
Sorry, say that again, sorry.
A lot of people today want to become content creators.
Yes, they do, yeah.
What's your piece of advice that could stop people from giving up on content creation? Like you persisted for 5 years without seeing anything come out of it.
I don't think that my advice should be to say to another person not to stop. And the reason I say that is I actually read a book recently called The Dip. Anyone who's interested, a really good book, and it's quite a short one. I listened to it on an audio book actually, and it was really interesting because a lot of people see giving up as failure, quitting as failure. No, it's not.
How is it not?
No, it's
you
not.
gave up. You have no willpower.
It's not. It depends what you're doing, what you're in. We probably quit and fail at more than we ever succeed in. And it's knowing the difference between when you are in a dip, which it's worth, when you go into the dip, it's worth staying with it in order to come out of that dip because you believe it's the right thing to do, it's the right product, it will work. But then people, there's something called the cul-de-sac. Okay, so the cul-de-sac is you go down into a place which is a dead end. Yeah, and a cul-de-sac is an area where you can just go around in a circle. So you know you get that
loophole.
Yeah, but you get people talk about being in a dead end job.
صح.
Yeah. Okay, so a dead end job is like being in a cul-de-sac, just going around in circles. And what they say is if something's not working and you know you are in a it's being able to identify the difference between a dip and a cul-de-sac. And I listened to this a little while ago, but it's and it talks about a cliff. And the three different ways of identifying what's the right thing to do at that point. So me and Kleiny were in a dip, and it took us 5 years, but we understood what the dip was, and that dip, it was important to pursue, because we would prevail eventually and we would reap the rewards. But then there's things that we were in, which were a cul-de-sac. So Luck Clothing, we spoke about on your podcast here. We shelved that and we put it on ice because at the time and where it was and the position it was, it became a cul-de-sac. So effectively we quit. So we gave up on it. But did we give up on it? Did we quit because we're losers? No, because it was the right thing to do, because we wasn't in the dip. We was in a cul-de-sac. And if you're in a cul-de-sac, it's knowing a difference. And successful people and people that understand that and know that and learn that, actually, it's a really, really interesting book. Because I thought that, when you said what you said, I think I would have had the same outlook in many respects until I listened to this audio book and was like, no, actually, it's a really good point.
Knowing when to quit something. Well, how do you know? Like,
because
if today you create a piece of content and you're experimenting with a new line of content, how do you know that, well, it's your fault that it didn't work and you need to do it better? Or that if it doesn't work and you should give up on it? How should I know?
Yeah, because, this comes down to, I suppose, some of it's like your intuition. But a lot of it is like what you're putting into it, and like how much you're testing it, and what you're doing with it, what directions you're going with it, like looking at the data. Is it something that's going to work? Like, there's so many different factors that come into it, but I think that we just need to analyze a lot of what we're doing, and we need to understand and be mindful of what this is, where it's going, and how it's performing. And then we've got to make educated, calculated decisions on what we're doing, right? Rather than just kind of making a decision based on how we feel at that moment. You've got to just try to break it down. But are you ever going to have the full answer on something like that? It's pretty tough, right? But if you're someone who's in a dead-end job, you pretty much know you're in a dead-end job, and you're not going anywhere.
You can tell.
It's kind of translating and transferring that feeling of knowing what that looks like and being like, I need to apply this to this now, which is in my line, like trying a new content strand, like, or this project, what we're trying to grow, which is a business. But I bet you, if you look back and you write down all the things that you started doing that you actually stopped doing, you will find you probably quit a lot more than you didn't. But that isn't losing. That's being very highly intelligent doing that. Because if you stay in a cul-de-sac, anyone who stays in a dead-end job, when you know it's a dead-end job, you're only wasting your life, and probably look back and think I was a bit of an idiot for wasting so much time. So you're actually intelligent. Yeah.
Comfort zones.
Yeah. And you're probably, but that can happen a lot, can't it? But if you do step outside that and go, well, no, wait a minute, I'm going to change something here. I'm going to stop doing this because I want to be more successful. I want to apply that time and energy to something else. Then it's going to be very valuable to you, isn't it? Because you're going to now push into a direction where you can be more successful. So
what a world!
It's mad.
Very interesting perspective. I have a very
It did
good.
change my outlook on the word quit.
Yeah, I need to read this book.
Quit wasn't. Yeah, don't. It's dressing up the word quit in a different way.
I need to read this book. Interestingly enough, the next question is directly related to this. Why do most YouTubers quit?
I'm so sorry. I've got to cut in, but I've got to say to you, we believe so much in what we were doing. We was in that dip, and we believe we'll come out of that dip. We was never a cul-de-sac, and that's why we stuck with it. Because we knew how powerful it was. We knew it was good. Powerful, but we knew that what we were doing would work because we believed it with everything, and we didn't feel that we was in a cul-de-sac. We didn't feel in a dead end. We felt that it was going to happen. And it's a feeling as well. There's knowledge, there's data, there's feeling. It all comes together, and you just got to assess that, look at that, and then be like, yeah. And that's why we stayed in it, and that's why we then carried on for 5 years. But I don't want to ever say to someone, stay in something, and you should continue to do it, because I don't know their position. I don't know if you're in a cul-de-sac or not.
Yeah.
The only people that can work that out is yourselves when you're in it. Yeah. Sorry, because I wanted to go back to that because I think that kind of wraps up your question.
It better. It's better for the clip. What you said is better for the clip.
Yeah. So
next question is related to this. Why do most YouTubers quit after 10 years?
I didn't know they did they?
A lot of them did.
I don't know. I don't know the stats on
in
that.
the generation that the generation that we saw. Yeah,
I know a lot of people like not in it no more and stuff.
Yeah?
And I get that people come and go, but probably.
What's the major reason? We saw burnout. A lot of you saw the burnout craze that happened last year. We had some of the biggest names leave YouTube as a whole.
But your question was phrased in a way where it was like over 10 years. I didn't know that was a stat. If your question was like, why do people move on from social media or quit at any
I've noticed that 10 years is the mark that a lot of them either just leave it or double down and keep going.
Well, a stat what I knew was that, and I don't know if this is the same, but this is going back many years, that the average lifespan of a social media creator was 1 to 2 years. And we've been around for 13, and there's a reason, and that's because you know how to reinvent yourself, recreate yourself, pivot, change direction, evolve, keep yourselves current. And if you can do these things through this process and knowing that you're not going to basically let your content go into a place of a cul-de-sac, and you're going to make sure you pivot into a place where you keep it moving and you keep moving with it, then you stay around a lot longer. And that's the only reason we've been in the game so long. But if you ask why people stop on social media, there can be so many reasons. There could be because of lack of support. It could be a lack of money. It could be a lack of direction. It could be it's no longer working out. They could be in a cul-de-sac. It could be a huge one, which is burnout. And I know that me and Kleiny certainly feel burnout.
Do you feel burnout at this moment?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing.
Really?
Definitely a thing. Yeah. But it's knowing. And this is why we pivot, right? Because if burnout starts to come, like there's different forms of this burnout, right? It's burnout like I had enough and I don't no longer want to do this ever again with burnout, right? Or there's burnout where I'm like, in this space, in this way, I feel that I need to move into another direction and I need to kind of create content in another vertical, because then it's going to allow me to bring an extended life to this social media journey, which re-energizes me in that space. And I think that this is really great, like obviously the podcast, what we're talking about with the whole online course, because I haven't spoke about it this open in this way. Like I have touched on it on the panel on 1 Billion Followers Summit and stuff like that, because that's what my talk was about for 25 minutes. But we're sitting here for a couple of hours talking, and it's great for me to do it because I'm so passionate about that side. And I know Kleiny is, that when we bring this to market, like I want to consult for people.
Yeah, I think you're definitely capable.
Thank you so much. I really do. I really appreciate that because, and that's something we'll have alongside it. Obviously, it comes at a price, right? Because our time is valuable, and if I'm going to give my time to someone, it needs to be valued in a way where it's worth it.
Yeah,
and
that's worthwhile
for both parties, right?
For both people,
But yeah, we're going to add that to it as well, so people can actually pay to be mentored by us as well. And there's going to be different levels and stages to it. But we want to do some big things, especially here in Dubai. Like we want to do a lot with, like we're in with like the Creators HQ, which is, as far as I'm concerned, that's the hub. of the like, and that should be
of the world
for content creation. It really
for the
is.
world, yeah.
Like the heartbeat of it, and they've like I don't know of any other place in the world
No,
that's
there
got
isn't.
it like that. You've got platforms that are doing whatever they're doing, but to create,
Back in the old days.
to build a facility which is there to support the creator economy and people in that industry is the most unbelievable, mind-blowing thing to me. And if you're not a member, you need to become one. And there should be these all over the world. And this is where it starts with Dubai as the flagship. And I would love to be a part of the growth of that journey and what that becomes.
Very interesting. Because back in the days when you guys started, YouTube was all in English. Most of the YouTubers back then, we used to watch English YouTubers.
Good for you learning the language.
Yeah, I mean, alhamdulillah.
I would love to learn Arabic. And I got
if you
no
watch Arabic
chance.
YouTubers, you would learn. Zain. But it's interesting to see that now the shift has become that you just mentioned that you're coming in from the UK saying that, oh, I believe that the hub is now in Dubai.
Yeah, but there's never a hub in the UK.
Well, that's very interesting because I remember a time when the UK were the British YouTubers were the pioneers of YouTube. I'm talking about the KSI days. I'm talking about the old days.
Oh yeah, they're definitely what
Sam Pepper days.
Yeah. Oh wow, jeez, it's amazing. Yeah, you live and breathe YouTube from the very beginning, right?
I live in YouTube, man.
Which is
It's not
awesome.
good. It's not good for your mental health.
That's great. But yeah, you're right. Obviously, a lot of the content creators and what have you was from that sort of direction in America, right?
The States were the pioneers.
yeah.
The first vlogger ever, Shay Carl.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, those like when you talk about
those were the
OGs,
good old days.
I mean,
Good old
we've
days.
been around
BF
for a
versus
while.
GF, if you remember.
Who?
Jesse.
Right. Okay. Yeah. But
Yeah.
you got so many which like when you look back, like, and you think we've been around for a while, and what have you? But like
You guys have been
the
around for a while.
OGs, but like someone like that Casey Neistat, man.
Oh, he's not that much of an OG.
Oh, what? He was definitely
but
before us.
So he became a star in like 2013, 14 when he started daily vlogging.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But people knew him.
Yeah, I knew him before the vlog.
Mm.
Yeah, very rare cases of people that.
But my point being is, like, if they see us as an OG in 30 years,
there's older people.
he's definitely an OG.
Yeah, there's.
But
people that
yeah,
have been around since-
look, to like answer your question in terms of like where I don't think there's ever been a hub in the way that's been doing in that's being done in Dubai, and they're so forward thinking and like they're visionaries, man. Like the vision of these people is unbelievable. I've been in and around that place, like, and every time I come over to the Middle East, I make it my business to try and go down there, see what's going on, look around, understand what the dynamics are in there, you know. And you've got some unbelievably like influential, powerful people in positions who are so forward thinking, who are doing something here which is very extremely special. And any time I've come across a creator, it was my first 1 billion follower summit this year. Oh my god! But like
first time, it's always hits different.
Oh, it hit so well. And yeah, but like the business, what you could get done, the networking, the interviews, the opportunities for creating content there if you wanted to, the collaborations and all of that stuff, just being with like-minded people that have got so much focus and energy to like make it a huge success, the creator economy and the support network. Like they're treating the creators how they should be, you know, like we should have the respect what we gain when we come to Dubai all over the world, because this is a thing, man. And like people do, like when you've got someone who's like worked their ass off to get to a level of like, I don't know, 1 million followers, that's a lot of people. Have you ever been in a room with 100 people? Imagine being in a room with 1 million people. That's a lot of people to have a positive like influence on. And them guys see it. And His Highness Sheikh Mohammed is like absolutely amazing to be pumping in like funds into the creator into a creator
because they know
fund.
that this is where the world is headed.
Do you know what's genius? Is like they want to have like X amount of creators, which from my understanding was like about 17,000 creators in the next sort of 3 years, like move to Dubai. And I tell you why it's genius. And this is, and I don't see how anyone can't see this in any other way. But if you was to have a marketing budget for whatever, I don't know what it is, like, and don't get me wrong, $40 million as an initial pump into a fund, it's a lot of money, right? But if you look at it in marketing terms, I mean, what it costs to put like an advert in the middle of a Super Bowl and stuff like that, and the effect it has and stuff. $40 million is actually not that much money at the same time.
No.
If you're going to end up with 17, and your aim is to end up with 17,000 content creators in your country, which, by the way, if they're working on other things and they're bringing value because they're coming to live here, spending money here, buying properties here, which is all feeding the ecosystem. But not only doing that, they're going to be making their own content every single day because this is their job. You've got 17,000 people doing marketing material for you. You are genius.
Yeah, this is why I think Dubai, I mean, currently it is like the most popular place in the world, and it will become even more popular in the next few years. It's very interesting.
It's amazing. It's,
and we're happy to see that you guys are coming to the GCC, huh?
And
the Gulf.
Yeah.
You need to learn some more Arabic.
We're working on it, and we're trying hard to, because we obviously got a small team, and it's not just so easy just to pick that up and move that. You know, there's different things that we've got to think about. We've got to make it sustainable. But look, we're singing the praises of what's going on, and like myself and Kleiny have become one of the 100 founders of the Creators HQ. So we got accepted in and asked to be one, and we felt quite special about that. Do you know what I mean? Because out of all of like the content creators around the world and people that are working within the platforms industry, people to be one of those 100 founding members, it's quite an amazing thing to have, you know. So we're quite proud of it, and we're going to be singing the praises and spreading the word as much as we can. And look, we're ambassadors of what's going on, and we're a part of it, you know. So it's quite a special thing to be involved in, and I can't see how it's not going to go from strength to strength and become
100%.
Unbelievably powerful. Yeah, for sure.
It's very interesting. I'm glad to be sitting with one of the first 100 founding members of the
Creators HQ.
Yeah. I have a bit of a weird question. Do you think you guys have already created your best piece of content yet, or do you think you're capable of creating something better?
Good question. Loaded question. Okay, what I'm going to say, I'm going to give you...
Could be answered simply.
No, yeah, I know I'm not a simple guy, as you've realised.
Not at all.
I would say, so here's the thing, right? I'll give you a good analogy of how I see this, okay? I see that in what we do, we should always basically strive for perfection, yeah? And perfection is something, however, we would never, ever, ever reach. We won't get there. It's impossible. But we should always strive for it. So as an example is like, if you're pushing and you're trying to create the best piece of content, we want like champagne, right? We want the best quality tasting champagne. If you push for that constantly, at the very least, you're going to come out with a fine wine.
Yeah, aim for the stars, reach for the moon.
Yeah, all of that sort of stuff. I believe in that sort of thing. But if you're like, I don't think, have we done it? I almost think that you probably should give up creating content if you feel that you're never going to make another piece of content which could be successful as your most.
Big words.
Hopefully that answers it quite well.
100%. Do you think in our field or in the world or do you think in the creator economy, do you think degrees, academic degrees are of value? A lot of content creators, they ask me, they ask you guys, of course you get this question, should they pursue a career, a degree, or should they just drop out and pursue content creation? What do you think?
I'm just going to tell you what I think of a degree. Regardless of what your degree is, I believe that a degree basically proves to any employer who is looking to employ whoever it may be, that there is proof that this individual can have a task, fulfill it, and not give up and come out the other side. And I think that it shows that someone can commit to a process, can commit to something, and have the single-minded determination to succeed and come out the other side. And I think that that's the biggest thing that a degree brings a human being, because I don't, like, you could have someone who's got a degree in this subject over here in psychology, and then you've got this guy who's got a degree in sports background, and then I'm in social media. I suppose both of them, depending on what you're doing, you could bring elements of that into what you're doing. Psychology is probably a bad example right now because so much goes into content creation in that space, so maybe a bad example from that side. But my point being is that it doesn't necessarily tell you that this person is going to have the skill set that you need necessarily, because I think it comes down to other aspects. I think the human themselves and the professional skills are more important for me. So when you employ someone, they need to have the skill set. That's a given.
100%.
If I'm getting an editor on board, or I need a cameraman, or I need someone who does both, that's a given. You're not going to get a job unless you've got those skills. But one thing that you need to look into deeper is, like, we would always hire the human being, the personality.
Exactly.
Because the personality, you can always coach, you can teach. If they've got X amount and they've got if they've got 70% of what you need and you need to get them to 100%, we can work on that 30%. What I can't do is work with someone who hasn't got the mindset in order to get them into that position, if that makes sense. So exactly. I think we kind of go for the mindsets and the person and those professional skills above and beyond anything, which I think is the most important.
Work on your skills and buy their course.
Thank you.
That's very interesting. Like, for me, the degree thing is very interesting. At the time I was going to university, I had already started my company, which is like a short form agency. It's the first one in the GCC. I was pursuing a degree when I was hiring people in the same time. And I had this light bulb moment of, wait, how am I, a person without a degree, hiring a person with a degree? Like, there's something wrong in this equation.
Yeah.
Because in our field, like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could be a lawyer,
yes,
and become a great content creator. You come from a sports background.
Yes,
that's totally different.
Oh yeah.
You might have mixed in some. You have good health. I mean, that's definitely important. Let's talk a little bit about monetization.
Yeah.
This is, I think, one of the biggest subjects, because money is, I wouldn't say everything, but money is one of the things that is very important to content creation. And you just mentioned that a lot of creators could stop content creation because the monetization aspect is not properly done. So for you just touched briefly on brands. Let's talk about brand deals. What are the red flags in any brand deal that approaches you? How do you know that this brand does not understand content creation at all?
A few things with brand deals. Obviously, you want something which aligns with your brand first of all anyway. So if you're going into a direction where you're going to be working with a brand, make sure that it's something which doesn't sit in a space where it doesn't make sense. And then when it comes to actually working directly with a brand, in order to create the content what you're going to be doing, obviously you're going to be coming up with creative concepts, creative ideas. You're going to get an understanding of how they work, how they tick, what they're doing, and how they do it at their end. But like, red flags is always a brand who's trying to take too much control of what you are basically trying to create ultimately. So like, they come to you for you because you know how to do it and you know how to do it well. So if that's the case, let us play our game. That's where let us create come from. Is the clothesline. Is like, luck. Yeah, is like, let us create, leave that to us. We can take care of that side. Like, if it's not for you, like, back off. Maybe we don't do the brand deal. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day,
don't hire the creator if you don't want them to do their own thing.
But that's it's we've been saying this for 10 years. I was in this on a panel for Meta, at Meta for this company called Viral Talent back in the UK, and the same questions are being answered. There was all these brands in the room, and it was like the same questions are being pumped out of what are the big red flags when working with brands, and like, it's the same thing. It's like they just want to maybe push too hard on messaging and tell you how to do the content and do it in this way, like bits and pieces like that. You know, it's like, you come to us for this, like, you have to allow us to create the best piece of content. Yes, there's guidelines. Yes, we need to understand, but guidelines are easy. Do you know what I mean? We know we can't swear. We know we can't do this. We know we can't do that. We know you need X amount of messaging and stuff, but like, it's how that's put in. Don't come to us, right, and go, I want to go viral, but at the same time give us a script
that
we have to force in.
I hate that word. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like, if you want 1 million views from us, 2 million, 3 million views, and you want all of this messaging, it's going to be very tough for us, my friend. However, if you want us to gain you big views, allow us to go viral with a smaller bit of messaging, which goes to the masses, and we can still get X amount of like what you're asking in play, then the more you do that and you give us the license to do that, the more you go viral. But you've got to choose. Don't expect that you can have this over here if you're delivering us and we've got to deliver this as well. It's impossible. Like, use your brains. Like, start wising up to it. But it's weird because it's like, it's been going on for 10 years. And I said it, I was in the room and I was like, honestly, it confuses me how we're still asking these questions over 10 years on. And I was in the room with all these brands. I said, I'll tell you what to do, best thing to do. And I said this in the room, right? I said, go and study how Red Bull do it with their creators. Go and study how Red Bull do it with their athletes, their creators, and when they make content, they are the benchmark.
So that's like, okay, that's the reference for any business that wants to work with creators.
Yeah, I would say so.
Interesting.
Look
Yeah, 100%.
They're so powerful, and they don't force it.
They don't force it.
Don't.
That's the biggest issue with brands. Like, you have these corporate people that have never left their office. They don't know what being creator even means. They don't know what messaging means.
Yeah.
And this guy in his suit and tie in his office is deciding what you have to say, and that's terrible. And even for us as consumers, I know when my YouTuber friend, who is my friend because I love watching his content, he's forced to say stuff because he's saying stuff. It feels like he's being held hostage.
It's not natural.
It's not natural. It's so fake, and for us as consumers, we're turned off by it, and immediately it has no credibility.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
people aren't turned off by having to click a link. You can put 10 links in
I'm fine
a piece
with
of
that.
content. It's not a problem clicking on a link because that's the sort of the pathway to extend the journey. It's how it's presented. Like, what are you doing? Like, how you're pushing it to your audience is the key. If you are just on this journey and you are taking someone through and they're feeling your piece of content, and then you say at the end of it, oh, by the way, you can carry on this journey, and the way you do it, and you want to see more and this, that, and the other is by going through this direction here, which is this link. The problem is when you do it and you don't have that feeling, you don't have that connection, and you just go, oh, click on this because you can get this.
I don't care.
No one's
Exactly,
going to
no
do
one
it,
cares.
right? You need to make your audience feel like they want to continue the journey.
Big truth. If a brand is choosing between 10 different creators of the same size as you guys, why should they work with Woody and Kleiny?
Because we've got this, that doesn't mean that you're 10. I don't know who your 10 are, right? So it depends who you're up against. If one of your 10 is Mr. Beast, then you're just as good going with Woody and Kleiny as Mr. Beast in our eyes. Because, well, it depends what your product is. Depends what your key messaging is. There's so many different aspects to it. But you could probably get, it's Mr. Beast, right? So I'd be an idiot to sit here and go, well, yeah, we're going to do like a 10 times better job than him because we're going to do this, we're going to do that. You can get a good brand deal out of both of us at that point. But if you're telling me, I don't know who these guys are, but you're just, and you're not going driving that deep, I just think that our knowledge and expertise of knowing what to do, how to do it, and why to do it in the way that we do gains success and on social media. And what do they define as success is the different things that they want to obviously achieve within a post. And if you are a brand who wants to go and get viral views, then we know the formula in order to achieve that. So you come with us because we can, more often than not, if the brief is right, we'll be able to achieve that for you. I think it's probably based on our knowledge, maybe, if you want one word.
100%. And also
knowledge and understanding.
The audience. I mean, your audience knows what they're expecting. They know you guys.
Yeah.
And you're going to promote something that they like or want.
I'd like to think so, because otherwise we shouldn't be kind of pushing it, right?
Everyone else is doing it.
Yeah.
In terms of the creators out there in the world now, who would you say is the most influential creator on Woody and Kleiny?
Oh, it was lucky you finished it, because I nearly jumped in and said, well, it's got to be Mr. Beast in terms of the most influential creator in the world, not for us.
No, for you guys.
Yeah, but for the world, it's obviously someone like him.
For the world, of course, it's Mr. Beast.
He's the GOAT now, isn't he? But for us, the most influential creator for us, and it was from many, many years ago, because we were so inspired. We used to do a lot of sketches and skits, and no one was doing it in the UK. And we started kind of taking inspiration from all the creators out in LA.
Yeah,
so
Smosh?
Mate, I'm talking like Logan Paul, Jake Paul. No, in fact, Jake wasn't really doing it in the way that them guys were, actually. It was more Logan, Amanda Cerny, Peaks, and them guys like
the Vine people.
Yeah, Mark Donar and yeah, right, exactly.
The Vine immigrants.
Yeah, but if there was two people, and like you got Lele Pons and all them lot, right? And I think
survivors.
And I think that if we was choosing kind of one I'd have to say probably Logan, man. He's
a legend.
Yeah, he's like just phenomenal.
His WWE stuff.
Knows how to kind of pivot. He knows how to kind of reinvent himself, recreate himself, where to go, what to do, how to do it. And I don't know. He's always had that aura about him. And like we always looked up to kind of him and them content creators in the way they done things. And like when you went out, we used to go out to LA every year, and we did it, like we done it for like 4 years straight. And when we did it, the plan was to always try and kind of go and collab with those guys and stuff like that. And like people like Pete, we had like 250K on Instagram at this point, right? Like that was our biggest platform, 250,000 followers, right? That was always on. We're on 50 million now, right? But we went out and like our first collab was with Peaks, right? And he was on 2 million, and we were like, yo, like Peaks is coming over. We're going to shoot some content. This is sick. This guy's our OG. He's like been around for ages. He's in with the click out here. They're like they're amazing what they do, and we watch their content and are inspired by it, and that's why we're doing this. A lot of the stuff that we were doing. It was amazing. And do you know what? It's funny because I mean I don't know what his network is in terms of across all of his platforms and stuff, but like we're on 50 million now, yeah, and like at the time we was on 250K on say just Instagram, and Peaks was on 2 million, you know, and like now we're probably like in terms of our following is probably a bigger following that he's got, but even now we still look up to him in the same way and don't even think about that, oh right, we might have like bigger numbers now in that way. Like we still look to him as that same person who we see above us in terms of like the way we see the hierarchy, and we still look up to those people in the same way. And like, when we got to like film with like Amanda Cerny.
You did?
Oh, it was amazing.
Really?
Like, yeah, it was so amazing because like you just DM'd them and we were like, oh, we'd love to shoot with you. So, oh yeah, cool, man. What you thinking? Throw over an idea, and then if I'm in town, and then literally like told her where it was. She met up with us in like this sort of parky area with a lake, and she even had a moment. We managed to like we've done that, and then we went down Vine Street and we actually bumped into her again. Like, and my son loved her at the time. He used to watch a lot of her stuff, and he was really young. And then we were just filming it going off, and we got to put this clip in here of my son because it is so funny. And
it's on your YouTube channel.
This is on his Instagram. I'll show you it. Yeah, so we'll get you the 2 clips. We'll get you the video we did of Amanda Cerny, so you can pull it up now. Yeah, and it was like, it was a funny skit where basically she was, say, walking or jogging. I can't even remember what it was. But then we're coming down the hill on a bike, and then I double take because this like beautiful woman's walking and what have you, and then I just stare in and what have you, and then I just go into the lake and I smack into the lake.
Oh yeah,
and it cuts out.
This is way back in the day.
Yeah. But like, obviously the guys can see that now. And then after that, it was just so cool because she, we crossed paths with her again. And then I told her like, oh, my son's like, a big fan, and he always wanted to meet you. And the chances are we weren't going to see you again. And then she just leant down to him and said, "Law of attraction, right?" And we're big believers in manifestation, the law of attraction, and the secret.
100%. You have to be.
And it just kept cementing because we were big on that. And she was talking about it there, and it was like, oh my God, like this is amazing. She believes in this, and she gets in. Look how successful she is. So this is a thing which is working for a lot of people. And then she did. She asked Bailey a question, and it was so funny because his answer was absolutely genius. And on his little platforms, it went viral.
What a
she
world.
was like, oh, would you? She asked him a question. Oh, I want to know, will you be my boyfriend? And he went, no. And she was, no, why? Why not? And she was like, because you are an adult and I'm a kid, silly.
My God.
He just spoke so factual, but you got to play it because it's so
this
funny.
Guy.
But
we have another question. We have a video.
Yeah.
It's called Posted or SSD.
Posted or SSD?
Yeah, it's a weird name. It's a video, which is weird, which you're going to see it. And you're either going to say, I'm glad I posted it, or it should have stayed on my SSD.
Oh, okay. It's in your memory cards.
This one.
Alright guys, we're literally stuck in the middle of the ocean. As you can see, the boat is stuck. Captain's got us in a bit of a mess over there. But we're going to get out. Oh, yeah. Guys, we're still.
Don't you know I'm still standing better than I ever did?
Oh, I've definitely posted.
You're glad you posted it?
Yeah. Do you know why?
Why?
Because like we're kind of working on like an even deeper connection with some of our content and touching people like and really trying to get those like stories coming out and those journeys, those adventures and stuff. Because when people get behind that little bit more, you build a different connection. So you get the viral videos what hit and go viral. Like that's never going to go viral, but it's not put there to go viral. We just want it to be
documenting.
Yeah, and we want it to like connect with people in another way where they feel like they're getting a bit of like behind the scenes because that's what it is.
Bonds with people.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I don't think you're going to find much to leave on the SSD here.
Yeah, this video is maybe an SSD video.
Go on.
I don't know. This one's a tough one.
All right.
The video title is "A Genius Way to Stop Your Boyfriend from Snoring." Life hack.
Yeah.
Yalla, bismillah.
Well, that clearly didn't work. Oh God, I was drowning! Jack, don't let go!
I didn't expect that, Salah.
Okay, so when we're doing our vlogs, there was segmented, so a lot of inspiration from someone like David Dobrik.
Yeah.
And then there was things that you do which are like, so this is basically a reality sketch, which you're aware of, right?
It is.
So it's just like at the time, it was just funny. I mean, what is this within a vlog that you're playing here?
5 years ago.
Been clipped? Has it
It's
been
in the
clipped?
whack pack.
Yeah, but has it been clipped? How long's this?
Oh, no, this is 4 minutes.
Oh, okay, so that's within a vlog, yeah.
This is start. Oh, this is the start of a vlog.
No, it would have been within one or something. Yeah, does it cut into the vlog now? Yeah. So it's not a short form piece of content. It's not like, but basically all it is like we used to build these, and they were like the vlogs as we did them, and what David Dobrik does. That's not what people would think a vlog, because a vlog is kind of follow me on my journey. This is my day. This is where I'm going. Blah
Today
blah.
we're going to do that. This.
Like these are like they were kind
clips.
They were called a vlog.
What
but
David did is he just took Vine and turned it into YouTube. So he made these compilations and we called them vlogs and he posted them.
Yeah,
they're not vlogs.
Yeah, exactly. It just,
they never
he
were.
He called it that and named it that, and that's what it was branded as, right? But that's where we took inspiration.
And
with
the
David
Disney
Dobrik.
thing that you just talked about.
Yes.
The Vlog Squad.
Yeah.
I follow all members of the Vlog Squad.
Yeah,
even the side members.
Yeah,
even the ex-members.
Because of the characters.
Even Jeff.
Amazing. Yeah. So good. Yeah, but when you do things on that sort of scale, and what he was doing is like, without going into data, you're kind of producing all of those sort of elements without even trying, because it's such a scale, right? And so straight away, if you know when he did that, like, what was it called, like elephant toothpaste or something, which kind of in the back garden, and then they put the potion together and it just brings out all that stuff
of course.
in his apartment.
Yeah, I remember.
So like, when
his
you look
house
at
in
that,
Beverly Hills.
like straight away, as soon as you look at that anyway, and let's pull it apart quickly, and it won't take long. But basically, like through that, what's going on there is he's like, right, we just do this, and it'll cause this to everything. We're going to get great content. So that's all he needs to know. He knows he's going to get great content. But if you actually strip it back and understand what that is, and you wanted to put that together, you're taking people on an adventure because of the journey of what you're doing. Because an adventure is not necessarily getting in a car and going for a journey. It's like an adventure of like this journey, what we're doing within this video, right?
But
and what's going on.
It's very short. Like with David, he just skips everything. He's
a journey and
straight to the point.
Yeah, true.
And it's not enough for him. Like he did that, and then he did other stunts in the same vlog. Other YouTubers would have done a 30-minute vlog just about the stunt. David made it a segment.
100%. But at the same time, it's hard to explain. Like however short it is, there's still a journey in there.
There is a journey.
Yeah,
but instead of 30 minutes, you did in 30 seconds.
And this is what it comes down to. A journey, not just necessarily is got to be this. It can be like it just depends how you package it. But my point being, anyway, with that, you've got like humor. It's bloody funny what goes on. Like inspiration, probably not really inspiring, unless someone's inspired to want to try it themselves. Surprise, I was certainly surprised, in terms of the magnitude of what that was. Yeah, exactly. So the humor's high level, right?
So much fun.
The surprise was high level. Adventure, it seemed very adventurous to do what you're doing in that way and what have you. So I felt that. And then emotion, what was your emotion feeling? Probably connected you as a lower sort of percentage, but like you've definitely felt an emotion of, oh my God. So which is, I suppose, shock factor,
But
which is
if
surprise.
you're a big follower of his vlogs, the emotional factor is very high because you know all of them. You know their personalities. So it's very familiar. It's like my friends are going out. فحلو. Let's continue a little bit and then we're going to move on.
Okay, guys, we've got a cockroach inside of a plastic clear tube. So, Neighbour Ian and Big Al, you're both nominated to blow on each side of the tube, and whoever blows the cockroach into the other's mouth wins.
Is there really a winner now? Because we're both just going to look ridiculous.
Okay, guys, we're ready. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh my God, this is OG YouTube. I haven't seen this type of content for so long.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, that is actually one which I'm going to say, maybe we should have left that on the SSD.
Really?
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
I feel sorry for the little cockroach.
Why? Well, what's wrong with the cockroach?
It's gone into his mouth.
Yeah, you've done worse.
Yeah, well, yeah, but not to, it's a little creature, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah, is it alive?
I don't know. I don't think that cockroach wanted to do that. Yeah, I'm going to say SSD.
Shouldn't have posted it.
Maybe should have stayed on the SSD, that one. Poor little cockroach.
This is a very interesting question. If everything disappeared and you started tomorrow with a different face, a different name, and different everything, and you had no channels, how would you rebuild everything?
In the nicest possible way. I find that just the most ridiculous question. I don't know how I answer that one. If everything disappeared and we're starting new people, new channel,
you had to start from scratch tomorrow.
It all starts with a strategy. You'd have to obviously work out a new strategy. You'd have to work out your strategy, right? Ultimately, I suppose you've got to work out what you represent, right? What you are, where you're at. So maybe it's not a ridiculous question. I'll let you off. All right, so, all right. So you start here. Your end goal is here. And ultimately, you have to do X amount of things in order to get there. It's no different from understanding how to create a viral piece of content, right? So your trophy is obviously here. You want to get a viral, and this is where we are. And in order to create that, we have to do X, Y, and Z to get there, right? So what you've got to do is go, right, okay, these are our goals. This is what we want to achieve. We're here at the moment. This is what we've got. This is our financial position. This is our facility. What is our brand going to represent? How many people are going to be consistent in it? Is it just me? Who can help me film it? Who can help me edit it? Is it me doing those sort of things? If I've got to do those sort of things, do I have to upskill myself in order to do it, to save money and be able to put it into product? Do I become the editor? And if so, then we got to get obviously all these different things in place. I can put X amount of money into making a piece of content. So you work out what that is, but you just need to find the strategy of the different strands of maybe content that you're doing. Is it one strand of content, niching down? So there's a whole host of things you need to work out, but you need to know what your end goal is, know where you are now, and then start building a strategy. But your strategy will constantly change in order to get there.
Wait, but do you have a particular field in mind? Like, you think there's a great opportunity there, like that kind of content, like football content or food content? Like,
I don't know. I'd have to watch and do my research. Yeah, I think I'd have to look into, maybe that'd be your starting point, wouldn't it? Like, do you know what I mean? So even before you go, you got
what's the gap?
Yeah, you got to look at like whatever happens, it's got to be something you're passionate about, right?
Has to be.
Yeah. So if it's something, I believe so. Like, if you're not passionate about what you're talking about, what you're creating, then it's not going to resonate with your audience. They're not going to feel something the way that you want them to feel something. True. And you need it to connect. And if it's not going to connect, it's not going to work. So you need to identify what that is, I suppose.
So an interesting question is, it's very hard to maintain a friendship for 13 years, let alone a partnership when you guys are in the videos all the time. You guys are close to like Rhett and Link in terms of timing. How do you maintain it? I mean, don't you guys fight?
Oh, look, you definitely have ups and downs, definitely. I think it's really important. I think communication's the key. I think that if you've got poor communication, then that can lead to all sorts of issues and problems. Have we had communication breakdowns at times? Probably. But I think that the one thing that's managed to always bring us back round and allow us to continue doing what we're doing is being able to be open-minded, listen to each other, listen to understand, not to respond. and I think that's really important. I think we care deeply about each other and the people within our team. And when you care about each other, and that is one of the most important things to you, then obviously it means a lot to make sure that we're all right, we're all going to be okay, and we want to come out with this, we want the best for what this is. So these factors are the things that obviously matter. Me and Kleiny got together because of through like friends, family and stuff, and he was originally he was like my little brother, became like a cousin, and then grew into kind of like the relationship what it is today, you know, which is a mixture of all of that, and it's been going on for a while, you know. And I think that when you've been working with each other as long as we have, there's definitely times I can just look at him and know when he's like annoyed, upset, agitated, or something on his mind even. And I think he could probably do the same my way. And I think that comes with Daryl as well. Daryl's been in and around it, who's our creative director. That's something that he's able to see, notice, identify as well. And I suppose communication is the key with it all, because ultimately if you're feeling down, you're not feeling yourself, like you do get burnout, you do get times where you wake up and you don't want to smile and just be laughing about running around on camera and being the happy guy, you know. And that's tough, you know, because that's how everyone wants to see us when they see us and they consume us on social media. So I think, look, one of the keys to, I suppose, everything, which to answer your question, is like amazing communication is what is a key factor. And if that's there, there's not anything that you can't overcome, I guess. And then it just comes down to your direction as what you are as an individual in that part in your life, you know, because where we are now is very different to 13 years ago, and it's going to be very different even in a year or 2 years' time, you know. And that's not bad. That's not a bad thing. That's just how life is, right? We get older. We I don't know, end up buying property, like to go and live in something. You get a girlfriend, becomes your wife, you have kids. Like, these are things that we do, and when you do those things, it changes your perspective on everything, you know, and what matters to you, and what are the things you want to dedicate your time and energy to. And I think that as long as we are, I suppose, there to communicate with each other, and then it's about making like good calculated decisions which are right for you both as individuals within your business. And I think that if you continue to do that, then more often than not you'll prevail.
Amazing. I mean, did it ever cross your mind to like split up, create your own channel and stuff?
No.
You guys have a great platform.
I think that everything we've been doing is all about the brand, you know. It's about and so on. And look, there is times where we do certain bits and pieces on the side, and those sort of things are because of, I don't know, it could be a personal situation which is going on, and you want to kind of spread the word on that sort of stuff. But it's just important to maybe speak about them things and how that can affect anything else which is in and around it, I suppose, because what you don't want to do is do this over here if it's going to have a negative impact on something over here. Do you understand what I mean? So, but again, that comes down to communication, right? And then understanding what's the right thing to do. But look, there's no getting away from it. If people obviously have had enough of each other, say, and like YouTubers or people that are working together, whether that be like a front-facing content creator with someone who is behind the camera, who's their business partner, because they can't work with each other anymore, because it's not people that are just in front of camera, right? Is like, if you've got a team, you could be a partner with someone who it's 50-50 split, but you've got someone who's doing all the camera work, the editing and all of that, who's behind the scenes. So it's powered by both of them just as much. They're just front facing. But yeah, why these things happen? So life takes over, I guess, and ultimately the 2 people or the 3 people or the 4 people that enter into this originally are no longer in the same space that they were when they entered into it, you know, and things change, right? And change isn't bad. Change can be unbelievable, and it's about then looking at obviously whatever that direction is, what that looks like, and what that change direction, what direction you then go in, I suppose. But guys, I just want to say before we go, I just want to say a huge thank you for having me. Really appreciate it. You're very good with all the, I love all the prep that you've done in terms of like all the questions you've asked us and the insights hopefully that we've given. I hope that people have gained some sort of value from it.
Yeah.
And just really appreciate everyone listening. So thanks for
this episode has more information than marketing degree.
Oh, nice.
Wallahi.
Well, look, if anyone's out there that are interested, we covered a lot of stuff to do with obviously our online course.
Yeah,
It'll be
where
coming
can
out
we
soon.
find it?
It's going to be coming out soon. Yeah, I'll make sure I get it to you guys so you can obviously post about it to give it to you. If your viewers, if you get a reaction here where people are really interested in the comments and they want to know about it, I'll make sure that once it does come out, we'll get the team to fire it over to you so you can obviously
100%.
put it out.
When do you think it's going to be done?
It's going to be, well, we're going into the next stage now, which will be the filming stage, which is like a lot quicker because it's taken like a long time. Yeah, exactly. And then it'll go in. But it's going to be coming to it, have its own app, its own website, and so on. So, yeah, so everyone can consume it and use it no matter where they are. So if you're traveling to work on a train, rather than waste any time, you could get a lesson in, you know. So, yeah, when it's out, we'll let you know about it. And keep an eye on our socials at woodyandkleiny.com. Or, sorry, wait a minute, that was the website. Yeah, obviously keep up to it on our socials, which is at woodyandkleiny. And, yeah. Hope it for anyone who does actually download it, it has a positive effect and you gain some really good knowledge, understanding and help.
Hopefully so. Thank you so much, sir.
Nice one.
أهلا وسهلا.
Thank you.
حبيبي.